Dean.
Yeah.
Eddie said something that really hurt my feelings.
Oh no.
Oh, we're doing
It
this
really
live.
did.
And he's here so we could confront him live.
He said that I've grown soft in my old age.
Oh, that
About the mic
well,
check.
that just happens.
Oh, he was talking about mics. I
That's
thought
what
he was
happens
talking
when you
about
eat
something
cookies.
else.
Yeah, I need some
Handles
handles.
for that.
I watched John's 60 Seconds. I'm not allowed to talk shit on other people's streams.
That was a good callback, bro.
Just started
was
now.
a
That
good
was
callback.
perfect. Like,
Strong.
Are you an angel?
What?
An angel. I heard the deep space pilots talk about them. They're the most beautiful creatures in the universe.
Hello there. We are tonight's entertainment.
We would be honored if you would join us.
He's got a billion toys.
You brought in the adult collection.
These are not dolls, Jim. These are commodities. Same as gold or oil.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
You are now listening to the Collecting Weekly podcast.
Should we lock in the artillery power?
This is the true form of floor gang right here. Very nice. YouTube.com/collectingweekly. Thank you very much. That's very cool. Big.
Hey guys, my name is Zach.
I'm Dean.
I'm Jonathan.
I'm Fern. I'm Eddie.
I'm Marco.
And I'm Ben.
Welcome to this week's episode of Collecting Weekly. It's a weekly podcast where my friends and I talk about the things that matter the most to us this week in collecting.
That's right. We want to thank our friends over at 1/6 Corner for sponsoring this week's episode of Collecting Weekly. Guys, do not forget, use code CW10, that's capital C, capital W, 10, during our live recording for 10% off all in-stock items. Make sure you visit 16corner.com.
So much energy. I don't think I've ever heard you so
Dude, that
enthusiastic.
intro was so good. Everybody was on point in the right order. I'm excited.
Is that the first time ever?
Did
Family's
Zach
back.
fuck up
Probably.
the intro, though?
No.
No, he
Never
didn't.
fuck up the
Because he
intro.
said, I'm
Dude,
Zach.
the cold
He didn't-
open was amazing. Like, what a start to the show, guys.
This is. Didn't I lie?
let's
My
not dwell on
palms
it.
were sweating
But there
during
was
that.
no,
My palms are sweating.
There was
How's your
no-
knees?
there
Weak
was
arms
no-
are heavy?
ladies and gentlemen, boys and the girls, welcome back to another episode.
Eddie, my son, you leave the network and you forget all
Was
about
that
it.
only after dark?
That's after dark. my
Jesus
guy.
Christ.
Yeah, hey.
Back
here
in
we
my
have-
day. No.
We got Toy Mafia, Tukatri, Ben Thomas, The Collector, Danny Lee, DJ, Bob Dylan. Dude, you had me freaking out that I was actually messed it up. PT Works, Big Ol' Fern, Asmus is number 1 by Equan. We also have John Ortiz. I got to see John this weekend at Free Comic Book Day. Would love to see him.
Poor guy.
I also told him he can come check out my collection. He never hit me up, so thanks for that, John. Tukatri, Renee 2D2. Who else do we got here? We also... Renee says, so glad I could finally catch a live one. Scott Bradley, Big Peps, I miss you, my guy.
Dude, shout out Scott. What a sweet angel.
Dude,
He
Scott,
messaged me.
send me a message, bro. I fucking miss you. Cash the Gemini, Left Hand Strong from Eddie Mendez, King Dingaling, Hardcore Candy, what up? Bunch of sweet angels in the chat. Dean, we have a great show tonight, but before we get into it, there's a very special segment that all of our best shows start with.
Yeah, you guys ready?
Yes.
It's new this week.
Yeah. What'd you get new this week? I had a pretty slow week, but it was pretty good also. I picked up by recommendation of Zach, Fennec Shand.
Whoa, how'd you pick that up so fast?
Rainer had it.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, because you sent me a list of things you were looking for. I was like, well, I'm looking for shit. I'm going to ask Rainer. And he was like, yeah, I have it.
Is Rainer just the ultimate plug or what?
I think so.
Rainer is the ultimate plug, bro.
Yeah.
And then I was like, hey, I'm also looking for a Cad Bane, but not the Bad Batch one. And he was like, I got that too. So I picked up Cad Bane.
What the
Black
fuck?
Series.
I asked Rainer like 10 times if he has anything. He's like, yo, I'll get back to you later. And I never fucking hear from
I
him.
told you already. Dean is the favorite. Holy man.
You're not
I mean,
wrong.
it's true.
Baby
and
Girl
then-
707 in the house. Shout out to Baby Girl. Shout out to Ruth
Wow.
Mike Jones. But really bigger shout out to Baby Girl.
And then we hit Stevens today, and then Buddy's Toys and Collectibles. And I was looking for Commander Fox for Zach because he really needs it. They didn't have it, and I was at Buddy's, and he had the Armorer Black Series loose for $20. So I picked it up. I needed an armor anyway, so I got that.
No packaging?
No, I bought it loose.
I'll give you $3.
Well, yeah, it's just I like to help Buddy out because he's a really good guy and he's a local business. So
Sweet
I could have got it from Rainer, but I was like, I'll
been robbed
throw
twice.
Buddy a bone. He's a good guy. So yeah, that was my.
Did you pay
Black
tax on that,
Series.
or?
I didn't.
Wow.
Jeez.
Actually, Mike Jones and Baby Girl, I sent some stickers for you guys. I think Marco has them, so you guys got to get together and.
I think Gigi may have taken them all and actually put them on her laptop.
Oh my gosh! Well, I will. You have my word. Next
She's
Patreon
the birthday
package,
girl, so
I'll send you guys some extra stickers. Just I'll address it to Marco. Make sure it gets in their hands.
Just don't let Marco ship the stickers.
Jesus Christ!
Oh
Put
my
a bunch
God!
of bubble wrap on it.
Too soon. Too soon.
Marco, what'd you get this week?
Yeah, so I picked up this Mark 46. Shout out to Mario Professoro.
I'm so fucking Mario. That's
he did say that. He
what happens when you don't talk shit.
He was
about
like,
him?
you know what? I think Dean actually wanted this one, but I had already Venmo'd him for it. The money was in his hands. So he's like, that's my bad.
Upset.
Eddie, it's the slow knife, Eddie. It's the slow knife that cuts the deepest.
Bro.
This
Yeah,
close.
hate to see
This
it.
close.
So
Yeah,
Dean, you're not the
hate
favorite
to
for
see
everyone,
it.
apparently. But
Nah, that's fine.
you know. So yeah, this is a figure that I always have wanted to add to the collection. Obviously, I'm late to collecting. Was pretty much unattainable, and Mario didn't give it to me for free, but he hooked me up. So shout out to him for that. It's gorgeous. Really, I had the 47 already, and this is just so awesome with the battle damage chest. And I haven't really fully unboxed it. I just kind of opened it up, took a look for a sec. It's been busy, but really a banger figure, and glad to add it to the collection.
Congrats, bro. It's one of my favorites of all time. I think this is Ben's new this week. Tell us about it.
It is. So I have been loving the Moon Knight show. I know it had kind of a hot season finale. I know some folks didn't love it, but for me, as soon as I finished watching the show, I was like, I need to read some content. I didn't know anything about Moon Knight prior to the show. So I picked up this cover this afternoon when I was out. I saw it on the stand, and I was like, that's a banger cover, and I was excited to read through it. So, and Marco, just so you know, if Gigi doesn't want to do the unboxing on that Iron Man with you, buddy, just let me know, because I want to see a little bit more of that as well. So,
sounds good.
But yeah, it's cool. I'm really excited to read this title. So I'll let you know how it is.
Do we freeze? Do we fall asleep? Do we?
I thought I froze.
Check. Test.
Sorry, my computer started freaking out. Among Us just randomly opened up. I think it's because Eddie's here. Eddie, you got a new this week.
Yeah, this is Thor Omnibus by Jason Aaron. This has a collection of a couple different runs. It's like the God Butcher run, and it has the Jane Foster Thor run in it. It has some other stuff too, but my buddy said that this was a really good book, and that the Jason Aaron run, the God Butcher run, is the run that the new Thor movie is on. So I kind of want to read it before I see the movie. So I went ahead and picked this omnibus up, and yeah, I'm excited to read it. Omnibus is kind of the way I go when it comes to comics now. I don't really buy single issues anymore unless I love a cover. So I've been getting into that a little more just so I can read some stuff, and you can get it on good prices at In Stock Trades, and there's a couple others, but on In Stock Trades, you get them for 50% off. So this one was $70 or $80 shipped, and normally they're $120 to $150. So pretty good.
I'm gonna need to get those honey hole recommendations from you, Eddie, because I've been trying to pick up a Donny Cates. Yeah, I said that nice and slow. Been trying to pick up some Donny Cates omnibuses.
Yeah,
they're just too expensive. So
I think the Venom one is coming out, if it isn't out already yet, and then there's another one by Cates. I even think his Thor run. I don't know if there's an omnibus of it, but I think his Thor run is doing a trade paperback or something.
This has to be payback for Gandalf on Friday, right?
What?
Never mind. If you know, you
dude,
know.
I was about to go score. Dude, I was about to nuke your ass, bro.
Yeah, I got to.
I watched. I know you're not wrong.
Okay.
I've rewinded the clip about a
we
minute.
don't have to. Zip it.com.
I'm the guy that says
oh,
the zip it,
I
my
got.
friend.
I
I'm
get
the
it now,
zip it
John.
guy. You're the
I
guy
was
that
gonna make a
gets
joke,
zipped.
when Ben put the comic there, but I put the omnibus, so I couldn't make the joke.
There you go. You love to see it. I got Admiral Rampart from the Black Series. This one, I was going to get it on Walmart, but it was kind of like, you know, when you're Walmart and then you got to pay for that shipping because it's under a certain price. It was just like almost like double retail. And so I found someone selling it on eBay, and they wanted like less than retail ship, so I felt kind of bad. And it was like that fast and free shipping, so I feel like after eBay fees, they probably really didn't make anything. It's definitely a decent figure. It goes nicely with the clones, but the portrait's okay, and the outfit, like the rank bar, isn't right. So
who is it?
It's from the Bad Batch. It's Vice Admiral Rampart.
Kind of looks. He motherfucker looks like Conan, don't he?
That seems like racial.
I mean, with a haircut. With a haircut.
Oh, that's.
I love you, Fern. I love you, but I'm not. Are you talking about Conan O'Brien?
Yeah.
Conan O'Brien.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Arnold. No.
There's not enough hair for Conan O'Brien, bro.
Dude, it's got to be like 4 times the volume on this.
That's why I said Conan with a haircut.
He's doing the people's eyebrow, though.
Look at that. It looks like Eddie. Looks like Eddie. You love to see it. And then I have a deal with Eddie for some clones, but that'll be a little before I get that. So it's gonna be like a clone army in my Black
Some
Series
clones
collection.
of me, though.
Didn't you sell them already, Eddie? I thought you posted a pic.
Yeah, well, don't tell him about this.
Oh, okay, sorry.
How dare you? Double dipping. Paying goods and services only. We have a great show to talk about. We have C-3PO. This one is $330, which is kind of expensive, but it's April to September 2023. I will be honest. I'm excited about this batch of figures. I know they dropped the set while we were live, and it was kind of cool because every 5, 6, 7 minutes they would drop something new. But I don't think I'm going to commit to these. I think if I was to add a C-3PO to my collection, I would really want it to be the original trilogy version, specifically from A New Hope. I think that's kind of the one I would be going for. But it's cool. It has some of the things that I would have liked to have seen, especially for the scene. So it does come with the droid blaster. It comes with the droid head. And the weathering, I initially I felt it was too dark, but I actually rewatched these scenes from the arena, and he's pretty dirty in that scene. So the more I look at it, I think the more I like it. But 330 and not being, to me, the iconic C-3PO, it's definitely a pass for me.
Yeah, I don't like it. It's just not my ideal C-3PO, and if I'm spending that kind of money, it better be. I do like that it's die cast. Hopefully it's more than just like an arm and a chest plate. Hopefully there's a lot more to the die cast, but I guess that remains to be seen. But I can see why some people are excited and they like it, and it's definitely a step in the right direction for people that have been waiting for a C-3PO. I mean, every time we talk about Hot Toys, it's Bespin Han and C-3PO. Where the fuck they at? So at least we're getting one. So looking forward to whenever they release the correct C-3PO.
I kind of agree with Dean. Look, I love that it's diecast. It's what people wanted. You got the diecast. You wanted C-3PO, you're getting C-3PO. It may not be the one you want, but like you guys always say, Hot Toys is a business, right? So they're not going to give you the C-3PO you want when they can release this one. And it's like, well, if you don't support this release, guess what? We're not going to give you the one you want. I think at this point, it's nice to get any type of C-3PO to add to the collection. Yeah, it's not the ideal one. But when we look, the prequels were, first of all, this was for the 20th anniversary. So the prequels, a lot of people have a fan base towards the prequels. So I think there are people out there that are really going to enjoy this. And there's people that can't stand it, of course. But you can't make everybody happy. We know that already. As a figure, as C-3PO on the whole, I think it's cool. The wiring looks good. The weathering looks great. And the fact that they gave us the little clone head, I think that's like the nicest little cherry on the top. Comparing it to Iron Man pieces, look, you're getting diecast. That's why the price point is there. But as a release on the whole, I think it's cool.
You probably shouldn't put this one on your hold though, John. Just so we're clear.
No, that I'll save that one. You can do that.
All right, sounds good.
All
It's
right.
going in though, just so we're clear.
No problem.
This C-3PO has been kind of a roller coaster for me, and I'm starting to think that maybe collecting is not super healthy for me, because the initial tease came out where the images, the silhouettes were blacked out, and I was hyped, and then when I saw kind of the first images of which version it is, and it was kind of on display at one of the conventions, I was like, it looks terrible. And I've kind of come around. It looks, now that we know it's die-cast, I think like there's a lot of redeeming qualities. I'm for sure getting that R2D2. This one is still, I'm still on the fence, but I think it could end up being a real banger figure in hand. Just only like the coloring, the paint detail looks awesome. Like it could really look beautiful in the display. So it's one that I'm kind of holding out to see the in-hand images, but I wouldn't discount this being like, when it finally comes out, people getting hyped over it. So yeah, I definitely have come full circle on this one.
I love it. I think it's awesome. I love the prequels. I don't know that I would argue that it should have been before the other one, the one that everybody wants, the OT version. But I think it makes sense for the anniversary. And I kind of want it. And the fact that you could switch the droid head out is fucking amazing. That they didn't have to do that. They could have made the head removable, and then you had to buy the droid to put the head on. But now you can just get C-3PO and R2D2, and you can still do that. So that's pretty fucking cool to me. And I might end up getting C-3PO because I don't think I need a statue of C-3PO and R2D2. So it would be nice to have them two together on a shelf with prequel stuff. So
you're back in, baby. You're back in.
Oh, baby.
Hook, line, and sinker, baby.
Well, I think it's cool, man. I would argue though that wasn't a year or two ago an anniversary for Empire or something, and they could have done C-3PO then, and they didn't fucking do it. So what the fuck, But it is what it is.
I'm next, all right?
Jesus Christ.
Holy man.
Just making sure.
Ban this guy.
There's no order. Just
the
mix it
lights are
up.
too bright.
It looks all right, I guess. It's not my favorite look. If I had to pick, I'd probably get the episode 3, the nice, clean chrome look. But I mean,
you know what's gonna be funnier, Fern?
What?
When they do it, when the next one they do is the completely naked one. With all
the episode 1 version.
Yeah,
then
people are really gonna be fucking.
Carlito says, if everyone skips this C-3PO and Hot Toys doesn't make another because no one got it, this may reach Grail status. That said, I wouldn't buy it counting on it.
I'll touch on that comment here in a bit after Ben goes.
Yeah, so I think for me, light up eye has always concerned me just a little bit because I don't usually put batteries in my figures. And so there's not really a good way around it because obviously C-3PO has light up eyes. But because of the weathering detail on this figure, I'd be a little bit worried that if I have him displayed with his eyes off, he's going to look really shut down and just kind of turned off. So for me, I still prefer the original kind of gold version. Again, like Zach said, the New Hope version. But this has grown on me since the first images. When I first saw some of the teaser images, I'm kind of like Marco. I was kind of like, meh, not really sure I'd be digging it. And when I saw that it was die-cast, for me, that definitely amped up my excitement. I know we're getting to it, so I don't want to spoil the next bit, but I think R2-D2 might be a better option for me. Especially if he comes a little bit, with some of the C-3PO parts, right? Because I don't necessarily think I can afford both figures. I'd probably have to kind of pick and choose what I put in my collection. And I wish this had been a 2-pack, something that was kind of a reasonable price with R2 and C-3PO, but that's not what we got, so that's okay. I think it was Hot Toys Hotline that mentioned in the chat that extra head was kind of a chef's kiss, and I totally agree with that. They did not need to do that. That would have been a detail I would have expected them to omit, and because they tossed it in there, it made for a really fun preview party that we had kind of after the stream last week. So
hell yeah.
I like it, but I don't think I'll probably buy it at this point.
I don't really like the idea that if people don't support this, that you won't get the other one. And I understand, in sales, you're not going to want to make another 3PO if this one doesn't sell well. But if you laid out, on the table all the different variations, I don't think this is particularly the strongest one. And I think it's a shame if Hot Toys, obviously I don't know if they are going to do that, but if they were to say like, well, no one ordered this one, so we should just not give them another one. This isn't like, the 3PO I think that the fans have been asking for years.
And isn't all their R&D kind of a sunk cost already, right? Like it behooves them to release another version.
Yeah, if you're making the sculpt and all the different parts, because I mean this is obviously probably not going to be on a true type. This is all brand new everything. The cost to make it, episode 7 specific, you might have small variations, or episode, 4, 5, 6. Outside of episode 1, like it's really just a repaint at that point. Like Dr. Brett says, another 3PO is inevitable. They put the R&D into this mold. Sorry, John, what were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say, don't forget, this is to celebrate the 20th anniversary, right? So this is kind of, maybe this is why they're putting this one out first. There's the reasoning behind it.
Yeah, that's fine, but we've also gone through 40th anniversaries of films and hadn't gotten a 3PO, so I get that it's important, and I know they're gonna celebrate this. We'll talk about it in a little bit, but they're going to continue to announce figures under this banner. But I mean, they've had the license for quite a few years, and 3PO is, in my opinion, one of the big 5 or 6 characters in Star Wars that we haven't gotten yet. And so I don't, to me, it's great that we're getting one, but this isn't really the version I think everyone wants. Nicolio says, does the portrait look off to anyone? I don't really see it. I think it looks fine to me. I'll be honest though, I'm not like the biggest like screen accuracy guy for this character, but so it feels fine to me. It could be wrong, but I think what you guys all said is great. And I think, like Hotline said, the fact that they put the droid parts in this set to me takes it to the next level. And there's other figures also that have this accessory like related to this, one relatively short scene in the film. And I think it's great that you're not forced to, hunt down a 3PO head on the secondary market. You could basically buy the figures you want, and you have that display option for each. In theory, you could have 3 of those options available.
Marco, just quickly.
Yeah.
Ninja Squirrel had said, with the Midas gold paint chipping, the episode 4 version may be a potential nightmare. Not sure if new golden Wonder Woman is okay or not with the same issue. Marco, have you experienced any issues with the Wonder Woman?
I have not, knock on wood, but it's still a very new figure though. So ask me again in a few months and I'll report back, but nothing so far.
The retro sneaky is the same like vac metallized gold, and it does have the same issues, but I think you'd have to do it like you'd have to kind of weather it, I think. I don't think you could do like a pristine like mint gold. Like if you look at A New Hope, he's fairly dirty. Like he's definitely gold, but I mean he's also weathered, and I think that's going to help hide any small imperfections in the chroming process, because on the retro sneaky it's like an as issued armor. I don't know about the Midas, I could be wrong, but the retro sneaky specifically has no battle damage on it. Same with the gold chrome stormtrooper that they released, and any little pockmark in the gold, your eyes just go right towards it. So I think if they were to do gold chrome 3PO with the A New Hope look, where he's been on Tatooine, he's filthy, you still get that chrome, but you're also going to have a lot of things to distract from like the tiny little imperfections that are going to be in the paint, or I guess the application of the vac metallized chrome. I think we featured another comment here. Carlito says, the other end of that, like John said, if they put a gold 3PO out at first, no one will buy the others they put out, are limiting potential profits. Kind of a catch-21. Yeah. I guess, but I think all the Vaders have sold well. I think all the Lukes have sold well. So I don't really buy that, especially because they released a Luke and then they basically released an identical Luke with, different hair or something like that, like the Andor version where it's 95% the same, but there's a little bit different. And then to that effect, you also have this figure here, which is, John mentioned it on the preview show, but it's very, very close to the first deluxe R2. So this is, I believe this is Hot Toys' third R2, if I'm not mistaken. This one comes out at $270, releasing April to September 2023. We did look at some of the bits here, and some of them are a little bit different than the one that was, I think it was for the sequel trilogy. It was the deluxe R2. And I think it's good that there's a little variation between the molds. But to me, I think the thing that I enjoy about this the most, I remember being a kid in the theater and seeing R2 fly, and that shit was, it wasn't like the greatest scene in the movie by any means, but R2 flying was extremely memorable, and then R2 repairing 3PO on the battlefield, extremely memorable. And the fact that you can kind of represent both of those iconic R2 scenes from the prequels, to me is incredible. And I'm going to say this like at least one more time tonight, but the fact that they also gave you a 3PO head so you don't have to, pay someone to 3D print it or, deal with paying $80 on a part out website to get one, I think is such a smart decision. And it just, when you look at this figure, to me, I think you can check all the boxes for the things that he did in episode 2. I think you can also display it, proudly alongside your sequel character figures, your sequel trilogy as well. And I think it's going to look fantastic. Like with all the panels closed, I think it looks good enough to go on the shelf with any of the figures out there.
Zach, I just want to like piggyback off what you said about the 3PO head. That's kind of what I've been like begging them to do. Include these little details, these accessories. If you're going to ask a premium price, right? This guy's $270, right? Then give us premium accessories. And I feel like this one's very expensive, but it, to me, warrants it because he comes with so much.
I think this is, look, I think they did well. Price, I think it's priced fairly. $270. I think the deluxe was $250. 240, 250, if I can remember.
Yeah, like $20 over 3 years inflation.
Yeah, that's not. I think it's priced fairly. The other thing I really like about this release is they 2.0 reissue, whatever you want to call it, but they made it different enough that I don't think it's going to impact the deluxe, and I can appreciate that. You're getting the same tools, but you're not getting. I don't believe you're getting Luke's saber. You're not getting the lightsaber. You're not getting. What do you call her? Princess Leia, the hologram. You're not getting the Death Star plans. And then this is cool because it comes with the items that were in the prequels. You get the C-3PO head that he can drag, the rockets, like that's cool. This is them waking up and at least giving us something different. So I'm fully behind this. I think I'll pick this one up as well.
Yeah, R2-D2 is my favorite character in Star Wars. And I have the Force Awakens ones, which seems insulting to me. So I'll probably pick this up just so I don't have to have the Force Awakens one anymore. I'm probably not going to use any of these accessories, which is why I just kept the Force Awakens one when the deluxe came out. I was like, I don't need to spend the money. But yeah, I feel like this comes with enough that it's like the ultimate R2. The Leia would have been nice, but like John said, it's a 2.0. It's not a straight reissue, which is nice to see. I love it. I think it's a solid release, and I can't wait to get it.
I just wish that we would see a little bit more technology added in terms of, either a USB for the lighting or, maybe a connector in his foot in terms of the base, so you could at least have his base plugged in and kind of, slot him onto it if you wanted to, especially for a figure like R2 that has a lot of open slots and a lot of things coming out of him. I think you could hide, a kind of a cord or something that could keep him lit a little easier maybe than some other figures. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, but the Mark 1 Iron Man that came out, I think he had the USB, right?
Yeah,
and everybody
right.
was like, oh, innovation, and then I don't think we've seen it since. And I feel like these are the two perfect figures to kind of reintroduce some of that, especially with the C-3PO that has permanently lit eyes that just makes him that much more interesting of a character to look at, and, R2. And I'm with Dean. I probably wouldn't use a lot of the extras that come with this guy. I like the closed up R2 look a little bit better. But yeah, I just wish they would innovate the technology just a little bit more, especially on now, like Zach was saying, a third round of R2-D2. I would have liked to see just a little bit more, especially since the price is kind of slowly creeping up for this guy.
Wait,
so,
John,
but
you may
he
be the
looks
best
beautiful.
one sorry to cut you off, Ben, but I know he comes with a remote control. Can you turn on the lights with that remote control, or is it just sounds?
I don't think there's sounds. I think it's just.
No, I think there is sounds.
Just
For the
double-check
Force Awakens ones, there is sound, but the lights are not functioning through that remote.
Yes.
But it could be different. I don't know.
I think for the deluxe.
So the way that this worded is one infrared remote control for R2D2 sound effect and LED light up functions
Then
battery
if that-
operated.
for
So
sure
I
it
think
is,
it's both.
I just wanted to say something quick in regards to what Ben said. I think what Ben said is, they should innovate and give us the USB, that USB for simplicity. You can just keep it plugged in and have a little switch, boom, hook it up to your Alexa or whatever these kids do nowadays. Only problem with that is we are already complaining that 270 is too much. So if they do that, then you're going to be looking at, okay, 300. And then what?
You think it would be that much extra?
Oh, they'll
to
charge.
toss in a USB. Like, I mean, you're probably right. I think that they would try and justify it, but that would be bullshit. I feel like people would lose their minds if they added $25 because there's a USB.
And that's why they didn't add the USB.
I mean, the Mark 1 was really expensive.
Yeah.
Without a USB.
They're
He's
not
a
going to
bigger
pass the
figure and still
savings.
die-cast.
They're not going to pass the
he's
savings to
not
you, though.
Bigger than other Iron Men though, and he costs more than other Iron Men.
This has the diecast dome, I believe, as well.
Let me say this quickly. In regards to routing a USB throughout this figure, I just don't know how possible that would be. One, it has all the opening panels, so there's already a lot of parts in this figure. But then the fact that you have the leg that goes into the body, and you also have to deal with some idiot's going to get the head and twist it all the way around and probably snap the wire, and the legs, I guess, can technically go, the full 360. I would love it if there was a wire, but things like this that I think are wired, there's so much restrictions with how much you can articulate it, because in the Iron Man case, like, there's panels all over that have the batteries, right? So the reason for that is you want to be able to move the arm independently and not have to worry about a wire going from the back all throughout the body. And so obviously, I know Mark said, like, well, if they could fit a person in this for filming, they can fit batteries, but you also have to remember there's different R2 suits for different scenes, and not all the R2s had a person inside of them. And that's obviously a much more involved setup than something like this.
And I know Eddie and Fern haven't gone yet, but they can also be innovative and somehow include some sort of maybe even an AC adapter base, where once you place him onto the base, the AC adapter connects under the foot.
Yeah, like a wireless power.
That would be innovation. Yeah. But again, we're going to, regardless of how much it costs, if it's an upgrade to Hot Toys, they're not going to pass the savings to you if they're saving. They're going to say, well, look, we're doing this, so we're going to, even if it's not expensive, we're going to charge you for it.
Yep.
But I feel you, Ben. I've been asking for the same things. Now's the opportunity. If you're releasing a character for the third time, do something like that. It makes sense.
I guess I'll go. I like it a lot. I think it's priced fairly. I think it comes with enough innovation. I don't need the plug. The plug is a cool thing, but I don't think we'd use it anyway, so I don't care for the plug. I like that it comes with the remote and light up features and all that, and that's cool enough to me to not use the plug. And I like the flight stand too. I think that's cool. And I hope the way that head works with C-3PO is the magnet. Like, I hope it's die-cast and it just magnetizes to the head. That would be fucking dope, man. So, yeah, it might be another pickup for me, those two.
270 is way too much for me. I think I'm okay with the one I already have. I spent $3 on it, and Zach painted it for me, so I think it looks just as good as the Hot Toys, to be honest.
Shout out, dude. That's a throwback.
Yeah, I know.
Do you have it with you still?
I do. If you want me to get it real quick.
Yeah, if you don't mind, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
While Fern's doing that, anyone else have a take on this before we move on?
Quick question. Maybe this is a do your homework type of question, but what batteries do go into this figure? Is it the same shitty ones that we see in Iron Man's, or
typically
are they bigger?
Do your homework.
Yes, typically
they're not any bigger though. Obviously, fair enough.
Yeah, if there were, I obviously Hendra Wu makes the kits that you can replace the batteries with, but if it was AA or AAA, like if you ever get a diorama Hot Toys base, we have a video on our channel about it. That's AA or AAA. You can buy adapters, and it's like a dummy battery, and then one of the batteries has a wire, and it just plugs into your wall, and you can operate it with LEDs like pretty much nonstop, as long as the voltages are fine. Someone mentioned, what do we think about the flight stand? Obviously, it's that kind of frosted plastic, and I think this definitely for durability. I think with clear plastic stuff, like the acrylic risers that I have, they're just not like very durable. They crack quite often, and so I think this is probably for longevity and durability's sake that it's frosted. But I guess we'll see what it comes out with when it's all said and done. But I really don't have a problem with it. I mean, they could have given us like a black stand like they do for every other flight character. So black or clear, I think people would find a reason to complain about it.
Well, and you hit it, Zach, but like for me, like I said earlier before we showed this image, like I think for guys like myself who are on a bit of a collector budget, like this to me still feels more like a sneaky 2-pack than going with the C-3PO on its own. Like I'd rather go with an R2-D2 pulling the C-3PO head. I feel like that would make me feel like I have a little bit of both characters in my collection without necessarily having to commit to 2 whole figures and free up some cash for something else.
Typically, I don't agree when John's like advocating for the 2-pack for everything, but in this case, I think it is like almost shocking that they didn't do a 2-pack for this. Like it's honestly disappointing. I think this was a no-brainer to do a 2-pack for this, and frankly, the other characters we're about to talk about. So
you mean
the fact
both,
that
though, right? Like a 2-pack and single options?
Correct.
Or
Yeah.
just
2-pack,
would have
yeah,
been
yeah,
sweet.
2-pack and single. Correct. Fern, what do we got? Show us what we got.
It's right here.
Look at that. Beauty.
Looks good.
What is that,
It does
Hasbro?
look really good.
Yeah, that's
Well,
the
when you
Hasbro
first get
Hero
it,
series.
it has that like plain gray color, and it's like all white.
Yeah.
But Zach painted it, he chromed it up, and
Oh, so it's worthless
weathered
now.
it.
Beautiful, bro.
I mean,
That's a
it looks
throwback, dude.
That looks,
Yeah.
that looks pretty good.
That's not
I would
R2.
be
That's
fine
R2's
with that.
cousin.
How dare you?
R2?
That's R3.
Arturito?
Oh wait.
Arturito.
There you go. Now, the pricing on the next 3 figures I think is incredible. $230, April to September 2023, and that's for the Clone Trooper. Now, I wouldn't necessarily say this is a shiny clone. I think Sideshow kind of had that concept of like new as issued armor. This definitely has a very subtle weathering pass on it, and I think this is absolutely fantastic. The fact that they give you the Phase 2 helmet with this, they give you the rocket launcher, they give you the short rifle, and they give you the long rifle and the backpack is fucking incredible. Like, to me, they could have easily cheaped out, and when episode 3 20th anniversary or whatever have you came up, they could have easily made this its own figure, and I'm fucking here for it. I'm just so thrilled that they're making this. I think they've learned a lot from the clones that they've made, and they've been kind of slowly tweaking the clone designs. With Cody, there was some issues, a little less issues with Rex, and I think they really kind of hit the ground running with the Shock Troopers. I think, Eddie, that was one of your favorites that they released. And I'm just excited to see where they continue to go with this line. They've teased in this photo here the Clone Commander, which is the clone with the yellow stripe. He also has a set of binoculars, so that could be a release down the road. And I mean, this opens up so many cool things if they're starting to get into ranked clones, ARC troopers, the different, there's like green, blue, red striped clones. And so this is so incredibly exciting, I think, for Star Wars collectors in general, but I'm just so stoked that this is finally becoming a thing, and the fact that they went that extra step and included that Phase 2 helmet.
Zach, if they release the red stripe, we're doing a 2.0
We gotta do it.
Fordo.
We got to do it.
I mean, all I have to do is take the parts off the one I have and put it on.
Drill a tiny little hole.
Yeah, I don't hate this by any stretch of the imagination. I just wish it was a proper shiny. Because it's like, bro, it's episode 2. They're brand new. And yeah, they get into a scuff on Geonosis, but like, I mean, the whole point is that scene where the Emperor looks over the fucking brand new clone army. Like, that's what I really would have loved to see. That being said, This is going to be a fantastic base figure for proper customs where you don't have to remove the 501st paint job or whatever. This is a banger figure. If I'm going to have a plain white clone on my shelf, I would have preferred it to be shiny, which I guess you could probably achieve pretty easily, Zach. Could you? I don't know.
No, I don't think so. Because, okay, so I heard some people make that argument. Like, you just hit it with gloss paint, but then you have a glossy, dirty Stormtrooper. That's not really gonna look right. But here's the thing, Dean. I thought the same thing. So I rewatched, like, that last 30 minutes of Attack of the Clones. Even fresh out the gunship, they're pretty like this is way cleaner than they are fresh out the gunships. They got like black chips on their armor. All the clone commanders are like super weathered and like fucking, I don't know, they look like they fucking rolled in mud. This is pretty accurate to that scene. The only time I think you ever see them like perfectly shiny is like there's that scene when Obi-Wan goes to Kamino and he's looking over them, like they're grabbing their helmets and grabbing their weapons and stuff like that. That's really the only time you see them super shiny, pristine white. Everything else after that, they're, even just a tiny bit dirty.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, if it's just a plain white clone, like, I think it should be shiny. But, it's whatever. Again, it's a fucking solid release.
Atuk made a good point. Hopefully they made the hands a little more pliable. Because that was one of the only things that bothered me about the clones is the hands were a pain in the ass.
Takes forever to get those guns in.
Yeah. No problem.
I know the price point is super cheap at $230, but I mean, do you think that you would have paid like $250 if they gave us a generic Django head?
Oh, bro.
Or Tamora Morrison head.
We're on the money. I was thinking the same thing. I was like, that's the only way it could have been better.
Yeah, that was literally the only way. Yeah. Just a generic, nice. I don't need a tattoos or anything like that on the portrait. Yeah. But just a little nugget of.
I would have paid $250 for that.
What about you? What do you guys think about this?
I will say that this is just a beautiful release. Love the price point. I love that they priced it where they know people are going to troop build, so they like incentivize folks to just go all out at this price point. I'm not a big prequel guy or Clone Wars person, and I'm going to end up with so many of these figures because they're all just so cool looking, and these clones are just gorgeous. So I'll for sure have to add at least one of them.
And I've been rewatching Clone Wars because the first time I went through it was when COVID started, and it was a grind for me. I felt like at the time everybody had been saying like how good it was, and I didn't love it through the first time. Been watching it through the second time, and my appreciation for it is growing tremendously. There are not many figures that I see that I'm like, if I buy this, I'm buying 100%. But for these figures, you just would. I think for me, I can't just have one of these guys in my collection. I would want the two different looks that come with it with the different helmets. And I agree with you, Zach. Like if they just threw in and Eddie, like if they just threw in that head sculpt, man, this would be crazy. But it would also up the price, and it would make buying multiples that much harder, and I wouldn't need that many more of those head sculpts, especially if for the folks that get into maybe buying more like 4 or 6 or 12, right? Like suddenly you'd have a ton of those extras floating around. So, but I think these are pretty cool, and if I get them, I'm getting 100%.
These are my favorite looking like troopers. Like I grew up with the prequels. I watched the prequels way before I watched the OT. So I grew up with these. So I like the look of these better than the Stormtroopers. So very tempting. I usually only collect like the good guys. So I guess this counts because it's episode 2. So might actually get these.
Yeah. We got a comment here. Tukatri says they could have included the pilot helmet since that's all that differentiates the pilot from the grunt. I don't disagree with that, but also I think if you're going to get one helmet and they're keeping it at that like $230 troop builder price point, I think people would have much rather had the Phase 2 helmet. And we'll talk about the next one, which is the clone pilot, $235. And I guess also different is the chest piece because that has like the oxygen thing on it. But this is also releasing April to September 2023. And I think this figure also just has a lot going for it. So one, it's a little bit more weathered. You can look at there. It's like this one's fairly clean, and then you go to the clone pilot. He's got the black marks all over it. And two, like, I mean, this shit blows my mind because the rocket launcher from the last figure, I think, is only from Battlefront. I don't think you ever see it in Attack of the Clones. And the fact that they went and included the animated series helmet with their non-animated series figure is so fucking awesome. So you get two awesome helmets, because I think the clone helmets in episode 2 are so much cooler than episode 3, where they have like that weird for the space pilots, you have that weird like half helmet thing. So I'm thrilled with this. It's definitely something they didn't need to do. It's definitely something that I would not have ever expected them to do, because they usually keep the lines pretty clear. But for $235, you're paying extra $5. I think for maybe a little bit of extra weathering and the extra greebling on the chest there. I think this is great, and I think it's a cool clone, and then you also get another look there at the clone commander, which makes two figures that they've been shown in the background of.
Who said that was a CW trooper?
Well, Eddie's over there dying laughing.
It sounded like someone just blew hot, wet ass.
I coughed and I went mute immediately.
And then
it sounded like a
Danny's not here,
fart.
so I don't know who would have done it.
Jesus Christ.
The chest pieces are even... Oh, no, they're not. I thought they were different on the two helmets. Yeah, this is a solid troop builder pilot. The helmet's different enough that it... And you get two of them. That it doesn't just feel like another, white clone. So I like it a lot. I don't think I would get it, but it's cool.
Marco, I think they were talking about Clone Wars, not CW.
What an idiot.
Well, a little bit of both.
No, he's right. Someone said it's CW clone. I remember someone saying it.
Yeah. The clone commander's officially
because the yellow. Because the yellow.
Yeah.
No,
you also,
I think the shiny clones were more of a CW. That comment? I think shiny.
No, this
clones
was on
were more
another
of a
show.
CW.
Yeah, another show.
Oh, okay.
With this one, you also get the binoculars,
It's been a while,
the
Eddie.
pistol, and the grenade, which I don't really see why I'd have a grenade in the ship, but okay.
I'm not a fan of that one helmet on the left side there. I feel like it looks like he's either sucking on a lemon or like an anteater. I'm not a fan of it. But I like the other one, so it's still pretty cool.
How dare you?
Yeah, I think the helmet on the an anteater, that's pretty good. The helmet on the right is just gorgeous though. Like this is another one that again, I have no emotional attachment to this like figure, but it just looks beautiful. So I think it's going to be a must at that price point.
The one on the left is Super Clone Wars.
Dude, it's fucking incredible.
Yeah, that's the best one. You guys are fucking crazy.
Yeah, you guys are
amazing. It's a tough nut to swallow.
Suck on a
So maybe I could buy this one and sell that helmet for like $35. And
if we put a USB in it, will it be bad?
Yeah,
I mean, maybe you might be right.
Dude, put some footprints on that base, and you got a banger.
Dude, it is so cool to see like the different troopers that they're actually doing. I thought we would see some captains and that's it, or some, but they're doing clone pilots. Like well, shinies I guess was inevitable, but clone pilot, that's pretty cool, dude. I'm excited to see all of the different, to see the different versions of troopers. And someone said like in the comments that it was Ninja. He said troopers are the most uninspiring characters in my opinion, especially storm troopers who can't shoot for shit. At least clones have some character with all the other important characters in Star Wars. Easy pass if I collected Star Wars.
How dare you, Ninja?
Yeah, troopers. I mean, you have to watch Clone Wars, but clones have so much character. You really love clones a lot more than I would say a lot more than some of the Jedi and the main characters. Clones have so much like heart, and it really it really rounds out the characters for you. So. I love clones.
We have two clones on the panel today.
Oh, you hate to see it.
Jesus. Do you ever see the pilots like actually fighting and not inside their ship?
I think in some of the Clone Wars episodes, but I do not believe you ever see them out of the ships in the movies. Also, what a weird design. You're breathing air from the back of your head. It's all hot and sweaty air. It's disgusting. Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Now 190. This was like a shocking price point because this is 190 after the Sideshow price bump. This is the Geonosis Battle Droid, and this one's coming April to September 2023. I do have one very minor complaint, and I don't really think it's something that is really going to be that much to worry about. But in all the photos, they show it with this clear clip on the back of its backpack, and it's designed to hold the blaster rifle, I guess, when you're using the binoculars that are included. But it's in every pic, regardless of whether, the droid is shooting the gun or whatever. And I assume it's removable because in the like accessories shot, it does show it off the figure. But it's such a weird thing that they would do to like have it just on all the time.
Yeah, you figure it'd be easier to do a magnet than that. That looks unsightly.
I think so. But this is a neat figure, and you got some really neat teases in the promo shot. So you get the blaster rifle, you get the binoculars, you get the kind of weird diorama base, which I think most people probably would have preferred the regular one. You also get the 3PO head, which I think is super cool. And the droid can do the iconic sort of like in storage pose where they're, doing a cannonball, basically. I think this is a great release. And I think the price point, I think 190. I don't think personally that we would have seen a Hot Toys drop that low. Personally, now in the promo photos, we did see Mace Windu, and some people were joking that as soon as we're done with the show, Mace Windu is going to be teased. I would not be surprised. And there's also a Super Battle Droid, though this design, they're showing it here in the context of Episode 2. But this design is actually from the Mando. So the Clone Wars one, they only had the blasters on the right arm. And in Mando, when he's like a kid and it's like, the droid invasion, they're armed at both arms. So I don't know if this is going to be like the only battle droid we're going to get, or if this is going to be released in the Mando line. But if you're like a hardcore stickler for accuracy, which I don't think it would really bother me that much, technically all the battle droids in this scene only had blasters on the right arm.
When they showed the promo photos for the Death Watch Mando, did they include this battle droid? It might just be left over.
Could be. I'll be honest, I don't know that answer off the top of my head. But I believe they showed, Dean, a few years ago when they showed the Padme, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe they did show a super battle droid on display. And that was the true Episode 2 battle droid with just one blaster. And so this, I think, is something totally new from, a while ago. So I don't know if the Death Watch Mando in the background had what droid, but I believe we've seen this before. In fact, I'm going to look it up right now.
Yeah, we've seen it on Sideshow Con.
Coming
One
soon.
of the Sideshow Cons,
Yeah.
This, sorry, go ahead, Dean.
I was just going to say that I have the Sideshow ones, and I know these are going to be nicer, but I don't feel the need to go out and... Especially with this color, it's not like the color that I would choose. So it's an easy pass for me, but 190, not bad at all. So it's solid.
I think that I think this is pricey, to be honest. I think this should have been around the 150 to 165 price point, just because you're going to want to army build this thing. I also think if anything was going to come in a multiple pack, it should have been the option to put these in a multiple pack, as opposed to just buy one. Because let's be honest, these are almost like the, what do you call them again? Oh my goodness, the throne. Come on, Eddie, help me out. The Emperor Palpatine's guards, the Royal Guards. This is almost like the Royal Guards. 2-4 is nice to have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, regardless, other than that, I think it's cool. I also think they included the R2 head here, right?
Yeah.
Not R2, C-3PO. I meant.
C-3PO,
Yeah, that's cool again. I think we were talking about it on another show. C-3PO is becoming the new Grogu. But
he's going to be included with everybody.
It's cool. I just think 190 is a little steep on this one. I would have liked it maybe $20 cheaper.
You're right. A 2-pack on this would probably be the only one that I wouldn't get mad that isn't offered solely. Like, you're going to buy it in multiples of 2, so I would agree.
I'll get the hate out of the way. I just hate the battle droids.
Okay.
they're not. They're like the worst enemies. They're just like lame, right? I mean, it's for kids. So if you were a child, I could understand how
Roger.
it'd be appealing to you. But the Roger, just they
you
remind me of the
motherfucker.
things that I hate about the prequels the most. So that's my bit of hate there. Love all the other releases. Never been a fan of the Battle Droids.
They're so fucking funny in Clone Wars. Like, Clone Wars just made the prequels so fucking good. It's like upsetting how many Star Wars fans won't watch it because it's a cartoon, but that shit is like not for kids at all. I'm shocked.
I don't
that it
even
was
like.
on
I
Cartoon
don't like
Network.
their characterization in that either. It's just cringe to me personally.
Dislike
The
it.
only thing that I can't stop thinking about right now is why would a droid need binoculars? Like, wouldn't they have advanced
That's
like
pretty
vision?
true. Pretty true.
Wow, you're ruining people's childhood right now.
Shut the fuck up, man.
You
The
guys might be-
base. Go back to the picture with the accessories.
Why would a droid need a backpack?
The base is that a clamshell?
You mean like a cheap plastic base?
Yeah, like the one with the gonk.
Remains to be seen. I can't imagine that it would
And
be.
also, if it's not, that's better than the other sand base. So why the fuck don't they just give you that with everything? That's a sick base. It's not like, it doesn't have a straight up shape to it. It looks like a diorama kind of thing, and if that's like a solid base, that's awesome. But I have a feeling it's a clamshell.
Since it's kind of a very irregular shape, you could probably put them together, like a puzzle, kind of make a. Whereas when you get the rectangular base, it's kind of hard to fit them in a DTOF, more than like 2 or 3, or like 20 if you're Eric.
I have a feeling these are going to be super, super fragile.
Yeah, I'm a little. The Black Series ones suck. What?
Oh my
I'm
god!
shocked
Nobody
Fern
here
didn't
knows
get
that
it.
but me and you. Wow.
I'm shocked Fern didn't get that. We have this guy, probably one of our longest friends in the hobby, and he would always show us like these pictures in his DTOF, and it's like fucking like the subway. It's like 40 figures in a DTOF shelf. You can see the glass bowing. It's like, bro, get another shelf, my guy. You can't. You're overloading the DTOF. It was a bad joke that only one person got, but it was worth it.
What do you guys think about the joints kind of wearing down over time, though, and then these guys getting to the point where they like won't stand by themselves anymore?
Well,
especially if you continue to like put them in the ball mode and then like kneeling
You
poses.
do what Dean
and
does. You put
It's
them on
not
the ground,
Sideshow.
kind of thing.
splayed out.
It's
You
not
get out
Sideshow,
your-
but that's why I was
joint
asking
juice.
because
Joint juice.
I agree with you,
joint
Ben.
juice.
And that's why I said I think it's going to be super fragile because I don't think you're getting die-cast joints here.
No, exactly. And like I'd be worried, like, I mean, we're all a little clumsy sometimes with our figures. That plastic tab on the back visually doesn't bother me too much because like I would probably keep the gun in it just so I wouldn't see it. But I'd be worried that clicking the gun in and out every once in a while, you're going to break that plastic tab at some point. And then if they don't give you an extra, which I doubt they do because it doesn't look like it's removable, then you're toast, right? So I'd be a little bit worried about the longevity of the figure. I think if anything, I'd probably find a pose that I like with this guy and then try and stick to it. Or I would worry he would wear slowly over time to the point where he literally has to kind of sit.
Great question, though. If you were to be toast, pumpernickel or rye?
Sourdough,
Don't like
baby.
either of those.
Sourdough.
Sourdough.
Got a bun in the oven, and I think it's
Neither.
Now, Hot Toys has said that they're planning to continue celebrating this 20th anniversary, so stay tuned on our next wave of thrills. I got to imagine Anakin, Obi-Wan, Mace, at minimum. Maybe I wouldn't say Yoda because we've gotten the new prequel Yoda a few years ago.
Charred Uncle
The long
Did they do
rumored
Anakin
Padme.
or Obi?
Yeah.
Padme and the
Django
white
without a
outfit.
head.
Jesus Christ.
Jeez.
So definitely some cool things to come there. Moving forward, Sideshow on their Unsealed and Revealed showed the prototype for the Clone Wars Yoda, and I don't want to get too excited because it's obviously a show that's meant to make this figure look good, and it's also a prototype. But holy shit, this thing is ripped straight from the screen. This looks fucking awesome, and I think this is really Sideshow's strongest possibility to get a really solid figure. I think they do cartoon type portraits very well, and I think they do aliens very well. So if the release looks as good as this, and we've mentioned it before, if they can fix the loose bodies, like this line is gonna fucking fly off the shelves. I think it's gonna be very successful.
I I think when we first talked about this figure, I said like, "Oh, I don't like this Yoda. It's not my favorite. I wouldn't get it." After seeing this, I'm tempted. This looks fucking good. I think Zach made a lot of good points. Sideshow has a lot of problems with quality and delivering. So, yeah, if it comes out looking this good, it's going to be hard to pass up because I don't have a Yoda yet anyway. I don't know if, I would want to put this with, my Anakin and Obi-Wan from episode 3, but I do want to pick up their Anakin and Obi-Wan from the Clone Wars, so I might just settle, with this Yoda. I love it.
Don't settle, T.
Not everybody all at once.
Well, I guess nobody else likes it.
I thought there was more to it. No, I think this looks great, honestly. Again, wait and see mode to see what actually they give to us in hand. But I think this is the strongest looking figure they've put out in terms of their Star Wars line.
We're always looking down, man.
I'm just excited for anybody who's been excited for this release and these sets of releases. For me, like my collection, I'm going to try and stick more to like the movie realistic lines and like, movie look, like real life people looks. But I think this is awesome looking, and I'm very excited for the folks who are getting amped up. 100%.
Aliens aren't real, Ben.
This morning, Eternal Toys launched their Air Predator 1/6 scale collectible figure. The pricing that we found, shout out to Eddie, $215 August to September 2022. A little bit of controversy in some of the groups today about this figure. I personally haven't heard a lot about this company, so I can't really speak about their reputation, but immediately a bunch of people started tagging sculptors randomly, like, hey, is this your portrait? And at least when I checked around 3 today, no sculptor had claimed that this was their work.
Why would you claim this work, though, honestly?
I mean, Michael Keaton looks fucking fierce, bro. I would claim this work, to be honest.
What? His portrait looks rough.
It does. That was a joke. It's not a good portrait. I don't particularly think, though, that anyone would buy this for the strength of the portrait. I think at $215 for what you're getting, I think there's a lot to be excited for. On the Jazzing Facebook page, there was some mention that this may have been a stolen design. But the fact that the wingspan on this is quite a bit less in length, I'm not saying that it isn't, but I don't know for sure. I believe the Jazzink one is something like 4 feet in length, left to right. But I am a little bit concerned because I know, like, I've known Yost throughout the process, and there was so many things he had to do materials wise to make a displayable and durable piece. And at $215, before shipping, obviously, I don't know if this company that's kind of coming out of the woodwork is going to be able to match that. Now, Yost had put that he had seen some cancellations because of this, and that does suck. But I think if you're a fan of the Vulture, there's definitely some cool things here. You get the, I guess, like the junk gun he has, which I don't believe the Jazz one included, and you also get a portrait, which we've said isn't particularly good. But I do think at the end of the day, I think the Jazzing Dioramas one is going to be 10 times the quality of this. I just think it's really, if you want the true screen accuracy, down to like the individual rivet and bolt, you'd go with the Jazzink. But if you just want a Vulture and you don't want to break the bank, this could be an option. And I'm curious to see what you guys have to say about this one. But I agree.
I
won't. Yeah.
I agree with
Dean or whomever.
Okay. I don't want to do what you were not going to do. Were you going to highlight a comment?
No. I was going to play a clip, but I don't want to force the clip.
I agree with Ekwan here. It's a situation of, hey, I stole it first, sort of thing. But do we know the price point of what the Jazzink one was selling for?
I can pull it up.
I think it's like $800.
Yeah, I think it's like $8.50 before shipping. This one's $2.15 before shipping.
I agree with you. I think the quality is going to be a little bit more. I think a little bit more heart and soul will go into the Jazz Inc. one, personally.
1,000%.
Yeah. But again, some people may not care. They just want the representation, and hey, it's the cheapest one they'll go for. So I think that's where they get. That's where you get that cancellation. You're going to get some cancellations just because of the price point. But if you want the one closest to the character, I think if you order the Jazz Inc. one, you'll be in good hands.
I'm going to talk about a theoretical figure because it's obviously not this, but I feel like for a Vulture figure, I don't need the massive wings. I don't have a ton of display room anyway, so I couldn't display something that massive. But if someone were to give me a really well crafted, just suit and a cool Michael Keaton head sculpt, I feel like that would and maybe a base that has representation of the wings, like Hot Toys did with their quarter scale Spider-Man, that would be enough for me. And it would be cool to add something like that. But the fact that this head sculpt is just so suspect, it just does nothing for me.
I feel like I'm surprised that there's much of a demand for this figure still. I mean, maybe I'm totally off the mark, but for me, this film feels like it's years ago already, because it is. And I think it was Mark Pearson in the chat just saying that, the Jazz Inc. one came out or started being hyped 5 years ago. I feel like at this point, my hype for this guy is gone. And I agree with Marco. If it was a really good figure that could kind of stand on his own with a really good head sculpt, I might be more swayed. But there's no way I have collection space for even this guy, even at the price point that it is, even if it ends up being a good figure. And I've never heard of this company before. So when this started getting posted in the groups this week, my red flags went off all over the place, because until I see anything like this in hand, ain't no way I'm going to be spending my money on this guy.
Yeah, I agree with John about if you end up getting the Yoast one, pretty much nothing to worry about. You got a solid figure. You got a quality product. And I also agree with Ben. You're taking a huge gamble. And yeah, you're saving a bunch of money, but I mean, I don't know. It's a little sus. I don't like it.
Single Songwriter makes a great point, and I was just about to touch on this, but the fact that this company out of nowhere puts up this figure, and then Toys Era also announces that they're making this figure the same day, you got to think that Hot Toys also may have one in the pipeline.
It's kind of a weird name, no? Sounds like a bootleg shoe.
Well, it is a bootleg.
Or hang on, let me play this one.
What I'm saying to you is you should give it to somebody that don't know any better, because that's a fugazi.
Fucking fugazi.
That's a fugazi.
One correction on the pricing. The Jazz Inc. one is $5.99 plus 76 shipping, so about $6.70. Which, I mean, you're paying about 3 times less, and like Ben said, you're taking a huge gamble. If it was me, if I was to be wanting to buy one of these, I personally, if you're going to go with, one of these newer versions, to me, I would have to go with Toys Era, because they're a known entity that makes some very high quality products. And obviously we don't know any details outside of this one photo. But you got to wonder, I mean, do you guys think that Hot Toys is still, even going to be making any sort of figure from Homecoming? I haven't seen, I don't know if it's a Morbius. I don't know if I've heard that he was potentially
I was just going to bring up.
I was I don't know if there's a different costume in that movie, but
I don't think that's driving demand, but it could.
I mean, I don't know, man.
It just shows him in a jumpsuit. So
gotcha. So, I mean, are y'all even remotely interested in a Vulture anymore? It's been so long.
I definitely could go after a Vulture if it had the characteristics of what I described earlier, and that would be really the only way. Because I still love Homecoming. I know we'll get into it, but it's still my favorite Spider-Man MCU movie. So definitely could. He's the best villain of them all, I would say.
I think you make a good point when you said that the fact that they released it like the same day, I think Hot Toys might have something coming.
Yeah.
I would be tempted to get the Toys R Us one because I know they make a decent enough product at a decent enough price that I don't think I would be too upset.
I like that
but
classification. That was good.
Yeah, but
It's the Collecting Weekly slogan: decent enough product, decent enough price.
yeah.
Collecting Weekly.
I think you're right, Zach. It's like, am I even interested in this, or is it just kind of like, oh, it's available, and now there's more than one? But yeah, I don't know. I do agree. I think Marco said it. I do think he's the best Spider-Man villain we've gotten. So I don't know. It's tempting. The Toys R Us one is tempting for sure. The other one, I wouldn't even consider it. So it's always good to have options.
Well, and if Hot Toys does come out with one, like say they teased it today, like what are the chances we're even going to see that figure in the next 2 or 3 years? If Toys R Us beats you to the plate, like then if you were going to take a gamble on either this one or the last one we saw, I would still agree with you guys. Like Toys R Us does seem like it's a much safer choice, and it would definitely fill the slot in your collection until at some point Hot Toys comes out with their own, and then I mean, sell this guy, you might take a bit of a loss or you might not. It's hard to say, but I don't think Hot Toys is going to come out with this figure, and if they do, I think they're gonna tease it just to try and squash sales, and I don't think we'll ever see it come, personally.
Typical Hot Toys there.
Yeah, go ahead, Eddie.
You're not gonna like what I have to say, so I am always about the best product. I don't want to say no matter the price, but I'm always about the best product, even if it's at a higher cost. There is a cap on that cost that I would pay, but if there's 3 versions and there's a very good product and it's a couple hundred more, I'm paying the couple hundred more, because that's why I collect Hot Toys or statues or whatever in general. If I wanted something cheap, I would get the Black Series because it's good enough and it's fucking $30. So, or I forgot how much it was, but it's good enough. It's $30 to save space. So I know a lot of people aren't going to agree with me on that. That's fine. Also, this movie sucks ass, so I don't think anybody wants a Vulture at all.
How dare you?
The fact that there's 3,
that is a hot take.
The fact that there's 3 coming out
you, Eddie.
now is fucking insane, because you guys are mad about fucked up C-3PO. Like, what the fuck is this? Where's Toby? Where the fuck is all these things? You giving me a Vulture, dude? Take that shit back.
It does make sense though, right? Like they're releasing all these other villains for Spider-Man, so there's maybe these companies and potentially Hot Toys are thinking like folks will want to round out the lineup. So I get it from that perspective, I guess.
So, can I say something? How bummed would you be? You order from Toys R Us, from the other one, whatever.
Every time, John. Yes.
You put your NRD down. 2 kidneys and a right arm.
I don't think you do NRDs for third party, right?
Well, I'm sure
the
you
window
do.
opens.
You do on some
you do.
sites.
No company out there is doing no NRDs. Maybe there's some, but the majority now, savages. Listen, you order them all, boom, Hot Toys tomorrow. Fucking gums, levels everybody. See ya.
I apologize.
Yeah, but
Danny.
the Hot Toys one is going to be much more than $215 plus shipping.
Well, it's also
Hot Toys
going to
ain't
be
making this
much
figure for less than $600.
Okay.
It'll be much better, but I mean, is it going to be $400 better? I don't know.
Do you guys all?
I mean, if Yost without, the way he had made it, it was $600. Like, I can't see Hot Toys.
Yeah, but Yost also
you guys
previewed
are
that
all
thing
in
5 years ago, and we're still waiting.
You guys are all in the camp of like cheaper price over better quality.
No,
It depends.
I prefer
It
the
depends.
best quality.
For me, I'm not a big Vulture fan, so I don't. If I needed the representation, but it's not a critical character for me, I could certainly settle. If I'm like the guy that's the number one Vulture fan, I think the choice is clear. Go with the Jazzing dioramas. I could look at, let's say all 3 of these come out. I probably couldn't tell you which was the most accurate because I don't particularly care for the character.
The one that's most expensive.
Well, I mean, if you had no price point, you just saw 3 figures on a table. I mean,
You can tell.
well, we'll see. Now this was interesting. I haven't really seen much about this, but this is Yon Toys. This is their Riddler, or they call it the Puzzle Man. And I think honestly, for a fairly basic figure with pants, a jacket, and boots and a mask, this does not look too bad.
Is that Brenton?
This does not look.
That's all.
Jesus Christ, bro! I don't think it's bad.
And you can army build it.
I think I saw
You
this
can
guy in
army
the
build
corner
it too because you
the
get the rifle. And like I said, I don't know the price point just yet. I saw this when I was looking up the Vulture. I went to some random Asian guy's Facebook, and he had posted this also. So I was like, "Oh, cool! Let's show
His
sheet
name is Danny. You dickhead.
Wow!
Unbelievable, dude. Eddie's just fucking.
How dare you? How dare you?
Eddie's just fucking swinging today. I think if this is like 150 and below, I think this was a huge hit. I think anymore, I think you gotta really think about waiting for the Hot Toys one. If
I think that Bruce Wayne was like what 108 or something like that.
Yeah, it was real cheap. It's fucking expensive now. Yeah, I don't hate it. I think the boots could be better, but again, if the price point's low enough, I could just fucking slap a pair of boots on it, And like I said, in the movie, he like tells the other people like where to like get the shit he wears. So like I said, you could army build this and have like a cool display with the Batman fighting him.
Manny says 154.
Look at that, 154. Danny says, "Cancel my celebration trip."
What are we celebrating?
I apologize, Danny.
Not his friendship with Eddie, I guess.
Jesus, you hate to see it. I think it's crazy that they made a figure of Lane Kramer when he goes out.
Jesus Christ!
What the fuck, poor Lane? He's gonna listen to this like, what the
Eddie, you can't make fun of Lane. That's passing the line, Eddie.
Manny, thank you for that. The release date is Q4 2022. Cutoff is June 6th. Not too bad.
I'm still waiting
go
for
with the Hot
somebody.
Toys one, okay?
I'm still waiting for somebody to make the what's it called? The Bruce Wayne with the backpack and the motorcycle.
The Drifter, baby.
Yeah, the Drifter. There you go.
Give it time.
I feel like we got to see more pictures because some of it,
Oh boy.
I don't know. Looked
I'll be back.
Here we go. We got some meat and potatoes here.
I got nothing to say for this. Anyways, go. I said it all Friday.
How
De
dare
Niro?
you? How
Well,
dare you, John?
that was
what
Dude,
that
John,
figure,
I had the
guys.
message halfway written, and then I heard Dean say, "Yeah, we could talk about it today." I was like, "Oh boy, Dean just fucking
It was fine.
saved a
You
life."
okay, listen. Let me tell you something. It's a
No,
different.
I appreciate the respect because you were like, "No, I don't want to talk about it," and Dean kept pushing.
It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's a different crowd. We're getting the statue guys end of it. The statue guys aren't watching now, so we talk figures. We got the statue guys, so it's kind of two different conversations.
Yeah. Now
I'll always respect the Tuesday
I
show.
do have some statues on the show sheet today, so we'll get to that in a second. Just kidding. Look at
I don't mind anime.
Queen-
It's fine.
Queen Studios. It's Princess Momofuku and Ivan Longoria.
Even Longoria 7.0.
Oh my
7.1. Now, Queen Studios posted this photo of their in art 1/6 scale Gandalf the Grey, and I got thoughts about it. I think from a rooting perspective on the hair, I think it is fantastic. And I hope that when people get their figure and they take off the plastic wrap, boom, this is the quality that you're going to get. You're not going to get like typical Hot Toys or Fison or Asmus. The hair has like this gel applied to it, and it really looks awful out of the box. I'm not going to take Dean's point on the beard. I'm going to let you say what you want to say about the beard, Dean. So I'm going to leave that there. The outfit is interesting. Now, if you look there at his left sleeve, the stitching is coming out, and I have to think it's intentional because this is like the prototype that they're showing us. But you would think they'd weather it at the edges of the cloak where it's weathered in the movie, and not at the seam, which is just going to get worse over time. Also, I really would like, and I really hope that they do, because I think in the render that they gave us, they had it where the hands were in the sleeves, so there's a look there at the seam there. But he wears, for like 95% of the scenes, the hand wraps, his thumb is through the sweater that he's wearing. And so I hope that they're doing that here, and I understand it's probably going to be made more difficult by the 3/4 wrists that they used on the Joker, if they're going to continue those here, which I believe they said they were. So I don't know if that's going to cause enough of a problem where they're going to abandon it, because I think if they're not going to do that, to me, that's like one of the more iconic aspects of this fairly plain outfit. And I really hope that they do that.
I just have one question for you, Zach.
Sure.
One question. Perfect. Right on time. You have to, on a table, you got 2 figures to choose from. No price point, no bias, no nada. Nothing. 2 figures on the table. Which one are you choosing? Queen or Asmus?
Easy.
Let me answer that question let me answer it a little differently, because we haven't seen what all the Queen comes with, right?
It's just if
you're just talking about the portrait.
Okay, let me just say something. Let's just talk about the portrait. Let's just talk about what you see. You saw from the waist, like the chest area up.
Yeah, it's a bust, basically, what we've seen.
You don't know which company makes what. Which one you going for? Honest answer. In front of 63 people watching right now.
Honest answer, I have my receipts here. Honest answer, I honestly think the Asmus prototype is the best.
You
but
are
obviously
lost, and you need to be found.
Honestly, I would choose the Asmus with what I see here. I think, okay, before John has an aneurysm there, I think the Queen Studios is a much better portrait from a painting perspective, from a technical perspective, from the application of hair, but I do not think that the Queen Studios Gandalf looks anything like Ian McKellen. I'm sorry, I don't think it does. This is a comparison here of Gandalf the Grey, age appropriate, I might add, because John was having a fit.
Well, you need to show the picture you compared. That's why I got upset.
With the Asmus final compared to the Queen prototype. And I don't really see Ian McKellen at all. The eyes are totally off. And I think with an actor like Ian McKellen that uses his eyes for so much of their performance, if you're not going to capture that iconic squint that he has, to me, you lose it. I personally think, and like I said, I think the Queen Studios artistry is much better, but I do not think the likeness is there. I think
beard,
if they improve
though,
the likeness,
you can see the beard is. The coloring, at least.
Well, I have the Crown series, and mine is not that white. I'm not sure why this one is.
Maybe it's just the lighting.
I just have to say, like, for me, when I put these photos side by side,
I'm with you, Punisher.
I see Ian McKellen more in the Asmus one. That's my opinion. I own this one. I'll probably own the Queen one too, but I just think that the Asmus one looks better. And I'll take a step further. I think the Queen Studios one looks like Robert De Niro, and that's my take.
No.
What do you think, Dean?
Yeah, I've seen the sculpt when they first showed it off.
Yeah, leave it here on this picture.
It had no facial hair, no paint. It was just like straight, completely naked sculpt. So I know the sculpt is there. I think the head of hair is rooted wonderfully. For me, it's lost in the beard. It just looks like they slapped some glue on it and rolled it around in some fucking faux hair. It's not good. You lose all the mouth detail. And for the price point that this is possibly going to be at, I think the Asmus is a better deal. Zach, you had a really good side by side that you showed off earlier. Now that the mustache is real straight and it looks kind of off.
That does bother me on
but
the Asmus. You were 100% right.
The Asmus quality, that guys, that's not a third party figure. That is a fucking wonderfully done figure. And I know a lot of people like to shit on Asmus because it's funny. It's like a meme at this point, but to say that figure is trash is just wrong.
Can you go back to the other picture, please? No, not that one. You know which one I'm talking about. You're telling me
100%.
You guys are crazy. I'm not even
For
gonna
the
get
amount of
into
money,
it.
the amount of money that you're
No,
saving.
let's not talk money. Let's not talk money. Let's not talk about money. You can't talk about money because the price isn't out yet. Let's talk about. I don't care about. Why are we talking about money?
Bro,
We're talking about
if money wasn't an
artistically.
option,
Yeah.
yes, I would get the
Okay,
Queen
then this
Studios.
could-
But to
then you-
rule out Asmus like that is asinine.
Then this conversation is tarnished. We're not
You're
talking
a
about money.
dingus,
We're talking artistically. Look at the final product out of the
we
final.
don't have
product.
it.
We don't have the.
That's
Queen
fine.
Final
I'm
product.
not talking about Queen. That's
We
fine.
can't talk.
Holy shit! Can I get my 2 cents out? Relax.
Go ahead.
Everybody
Get
breathe.
his Looney Tunes on.
It's like you can't talk about money, but let's talk about final product.
Queen is
when
okay. So
final
let's
product's not even out.
let's first compare Queen's proto to Asmus proto. There's no
Asmus's
comparison.
proto was much
the
better,
skin
in my
tone, the complexion. Yeah, maybe the nose. Something's
The
a little
paint.
bit off.
I will give
Can
you
I
the
finish?
paint is
I
better.
can't finish.
I conceded to you your point.
That's fine. But let me finish, and you can just take over. The portrait, the paint, and the complexion, phenomenal. The skin tone, okay, and the rooting of the hair. I could see your point with the beard a little bit, but I'll tell you right now, Asmus is no better on that end.
It's
and I'm
a
no
lot
queen.
cleaner.
I'm no queen apolog. Whatever you want to say. I'm not necessarily on Queen's side. I'm just talking about from my perspective, which one I think is going to come out to be the best. The Asmus final product in hand looks like Austin Powers in what do you call it? What do you?
No,
what do you
it doesn't, bro.
What are you talking
listen,
about?
let me finish.
Dingus.
What is that called? Prosthetics. In prosthetic, that looks like prosthetics on his face. If you're gonna tell me that looks like Gandalf, you cannot sit here and tell me you are a Gandalf fan and say that the final product, if the final product looked like so much like Gandalf, Zach, you wouldn't have had to futz a thing.
I didn't. All I did was take the
like-
product out of the hair and the beard. I
It
did
looks
not
like
paint a single.
You put
or-
gel in the hair. You put the
No.
beard. You stylized the
No.
beard.
All I did was wash their product out of the hair.
Kind of looks like Mike Myers from The Love Guru.
Thank you, Mike Myers. That's what I was going for when I said Austin Powers with prosthetics on. I'm telling you, there's no way, guys. There's no.
Look at
way.
this side by side and honestly tell me that Asmus
No.
doesn't have it.
You got a grayed out photo of
Oh, here we go.
Gandalf.
First it's too
Oh,
old, then
bro.
it's too young, and then
This
it's gray, then
argument's
it's in
over.
color. Bro,
Mario
you are
said he agrees with John. That's it.
I love you,
don't think
Mario.
keep
I love
arguing.
you and I hate you at the same time. Fuck.
Oh my god!
Wow.
That,
No, I fucking thank
Jesus
you, Mario.
Christ.
Finally, it's an
No,
apology.
they're fucking elitist statue guys that are like, oh, Queen
Okay.
Studios is.
How are we
glad you
elitist
said
statue
that.
guys?
I'm glad
I'm
you said that.
I'm someone in the
'Cause that brings
community.
me to my
Hold
point.
on a second. I'm someone. I was on someone else's stream today. I shit all over J&D Studios. Anyone?
Oh, bro,
can I-
they've been having a
Rightfully
rough.
so.
They've been having a
Anyways,
rough.
I'm not elitist. I'm not full of shit. That's all. I'm telling
I'm
you.
not full of shit. I'm giving
Okay.
you my honest opinion.
I'm just
Now,
saying.
the real
the
real
people-
decider is going to be when the Queen final comes out. Then we can
That's it.
revisit this. And
But
make-
you cannot sit there and tell me I
I'm
would
sitting
prefer to
here-
take the
I'm
Asmus
telling
over
you.
the Queen right now. You can't sit there and tell me
I'm
that.
telling you that right now.
You cannot.
If
I am.
okay, this is what I think about it. The Queen will 100% be better.
I love you, Mario. I
than
was only
Asmus.
kidding. So.
It'll 100% be better in every way. The problem is I want the better product, like I said, but I don't think hot toy collectors want that price. They don't want it. So the Asmus will win in that aspect.
The
Because
Asmus is not much cheaper.
hot toy,
But if the quality was far and away better, I think we would go for it, right, Eddie? Like if it was like you look at it, you're like, that's him right there.
Eddie, you just said you'd pay for higher quality.
no, I'm saying I would, but
Oh,
I
okay.
think in general, hot toy collectors don't. You see it all in the chat. You see everybody saying like, "I'll take the cheaper Vulture with the less
Oh,
better
for this
features."
character, I would take the best within.
Yeah, Greg
within
said
the
you pay
price
for
point
what you
that we
get.
talked about within the price that we talked about last week. There's I don't know the customizer, but I think this year he released a Gandalf, but it was like $1,000. It's not Viper. It's fuck. Let me see if I can find the photo.
Also-
but his Gandalf was fantastic. But
to say that it looks like De Niro is kind of like, first of all, yes, I can see the De Niro, but it's kind of not fair.
I can't.
It's not fair because
all I
it's
can see
two
now.
old dudes with gray hair and ball
And
sack
big,
eyes.
big noses.
Like you
Yeah.
can't. That's like saying there's a custom figure that looks like Zach and Fern. Well, yeah, they fucking look alike, so they're gonna look similar in the fucking figure, you know? Like,
okay, that seems
That
seems
seems
like a
little racial.
you can't you
Yeah, I
can't
hate to
fucking
hear it.
say.
Even first
crazy
he
how
said
they
two
do it.
old
Even
white
if-
guys. Now he's saying two middle-aged brown people.
Even if
people.
Asmus's figure looked like the production one a little, okay.
Middle-aged.
But
How
fuck,
dare
that
you.
one on the right, holy shit, looks like Santa Claus. Fuck.
I'm surprised no one caught that.
Whoever approved that scope instead should have been like, "This shall not pass."
Wow.
I love Fern.
Well
man,
done,
fuck.
Fern.
Yeah, John's wrong, everybody, and
Yeah.
that was a great discussion.
John's wrong.
I do
No,
have to say
no,
though,
John makes a good point, but again, until the final product and price is out, I mean,
What? I just want to take price out of it.
But John, we're
No,
we're not
because-
even talking about final product right now. How are they releasing? Okay, so Zach, you got to help me with
What are you
this.
saying? No, what did you say?
Philadelphia- Okay, there's no final product out yet. We're already having this debate over prototypes.
Okay.
They're not ready to play ball yet. Queen is not ready to play ball yet. Releasing this, don't release it unless it's good enough, and it's clearly not good enough yet.
Yes.
So
Zach,
you're
there's
saying this doesn't
Well,
stand.
clearly not good enough.
Hold on a
I don't
second.
know
Not
that
good
that's
enough.
So this
This is
doesn't
not
stand
good
to.
enough.
That's a good
Hold on a
argument.
second, guys. This doesn't stand to Asmus's prototype. That's what you're saying?
I don't even care about Asmus.
Forget
at all.
about Asmus. If you're telling me that InArt is supposed to be the pinnacle of like 1/6 scale revolutionizing the game, and the motherfucking Gandalf doesn't look like Ian McKellen, then yes, it's not.
Yeah,
good
but the
enough.
Gandalf.
This is
But
not
the
good
point
enough.
is, we have to bring Asmus into it because then, whether or not they're the pinnacle or not, we're comparing which Gandalf is the best, right? And so that's why you got to bring the other ones into play.
I guess so, but I'm just saying from a
This
perspective,
is
I was
not
never going
an
to get the
amazing
Asmus.
portrait.
Yeah, it's not good enough. It's reminding me of, Zach, there was a Philadelphia Eagles team. They were
here we
hyped up
go.
as a super team, right? Everyone, I think they signed Asamoah. Everyone was drooling over them. They didn't do shit. And that's how I'm feeling about Queen right now.
I'm with Punisher.
I love the Joker. I'm like in on that. But since they've, had that, they've had a lot of missteps. And then this is what they're going to release as their prototype. Like,
What
get the
missteps,
fuck out of
though?
here. Like,
They've had a lot.
It's not
of
even a
missteps.
release
do
of.
we need to?
You guys are.
It's not even a
you guys are
release
talking
of a
about Queen
prototype.
like they're only a 1/6
Oh my
figure
God, it's
company.
not.
They do a lot more.
But
Just
they're
because they've
trying to
only
get
done
they've been
one.
fucking
trying to
up
get
a
into
lot
a
in the
new
past
market,
few
This
though, right?
this isn't even a prototype.
They haven't fucked up once.
This
What
is
have
a
they
prototype.
fucked
Dude,
up?
Listen,
What are you
but they
They don't
didn't
have
show
anything to
anything.
fuck
They're
up.
they're showing you a chest photo and a portrait and saying, "Hey guys, what do you think?" That's what
Don't
they're
show
saying.
us. Don't show us. It's not good
What?
enough.
But
Put
okay,
it
hold on a
ice
second.
if
But
you're
you're a
ready to show
hypocrite.
some good shit.
You're a
It is
hypocrite.
good enough.
John, I don't get it. They
Hold
show
on a
us
second.
a
Let me address-
digital
let me address
rendering
Marco
that
for a
they
second. But
Basically,
you're-
show us as a figure, and you're not upset.
But
They
you're
show us
being
a
a
figure
hip-
that's not good. You're not upset. When are you able to criticize?
Let me
Queen?
say something real quick first. I'll address that next. Marco, you're being a hypocrite because you say that Hot Toys doesn't communicate with you enough. You got Queen putting out photos and saying, "Here, guys, what do you think of this?" And then taking that feedback, not necessarily on the 6 scale side yet. They've done it on the statue side.
Fair enough.
But they're saying, "Hey, what do you guys think?" They're communicating with the community, and you're saying it's not good enough. No,
they're trying to break into a new market. This
Yeah.
is the second figure that we're seeing that's not a cardboard cutout or
Render.
a freaking render. This isn't ready for prime time. Like, they need to put it on ice. You could get my feedback, and my feedback
I'm
is it
100%
looks like
with Marco.
ass. Put it back in the
but
drawer,
that's
and then when you're ready to show some
not a
shit
justified
that will get
opinion.
me excited.
No. That's your
You're
opinion,
trying to
though.
break into a new market. I don't care about statues. I don't care about Asmus. This is just not
Yeah, but this,
enough to get me excited.
You're saying it's not good
But-
enough as if it's
but you're
trash.
not- are
It's
you a
not
Lord of the Rings
trash,
fan?
It's just a couple people don't think it looks like Gandalf, which is arguably just Zach. That doesn't mean
No,
it's
there's
not
plenty of
good
people.
enough. You fucking you're overstating something.
I
because
think it's a fair enough statement though, because
No, I
it
don't
doesn't
think-
really look like him.
it's an opinion.
Like,
it does.
Everyone's
look
entitled
a
to the
lot
opinion.
like him.
Everyone's entitled
It
to
really
it.
doesn't. I'm sorry. I
I
don't
will
To
give-
Zach. Just
I
so
will
we're
give-
clear, it doesn't look like him to Zach.
But you know whose opinion matters, Eddie? My opinion, because I'm the motherfucker spending any number of hundreds of
wouldn't
dollars to
spend
buy
it.
Still
it.
gonna buy
If
it
this came
anyway.
out $1,000 bucks,
you're
you
right.
would not spend it.
Oh, and I've said that last week. I literally verbatim said, if it's under this price, I will buy it. If it's over this price, I'm probably not going to get it. You're
Yeah,
100%
so-
right.
Yeah, no.
I will give Zach credit because I didn't think Asmus version looked like Gandalf at all until I saw that split image. So I will say that actually makes me love the figure more on the Asmus side, but the heavy bags under the eyes on the Asmus and the sunken in eye sockets, to me, throw it off. I do think that the in-art version does look still more like Ian McKellen, and because it's a prototype version, I think it seems to me like in-art is hearing what people are having to say. They are hearing the feedback, and they have time to tweak it still. So I agree with Marco. I don't think that this is necessarily good enough if it's creating this much like fire in the community. But they still have time to change it, whereas the Asmus one is already a final product, so that's as good as that one's going to get.
Can I ask a question?
Can I find another person?
Is it creating fire in the community, or is it creating fire in Zach?
Amen.
Is there a big feedback from the community
in the post that they put this up, there was a number of people that were saying.
Can we
I
pull
think
it
for
up?
the people who
Please,
love
let's
this
look at it
character
live.
as much
Because
as
I
Zach,
have not heard.
I haven't read anything else.
Yeah,
other
I
than
haven't
Zach.
seen anything bad
Nobody
about
else.
this except here.
Yeah.
Hang on, let me.
Okay, let's see. As Zach pulls it up, it's just a snoozer. It's nothing to get excited. If this is the second thing that you're going to show from your 1/6 line, that's like an actual prototype. It's got to be better than this. Like, get us hyped. I call out Hot Toys when they're not doing good enough, which they haven't been recently. And this shit is not good enough either. Sorry.
That's an overstatement.
To answer Eddie and John's thing about
everyone's entitled to their opinion,
Here
though,
we
so
go.
I respect you.
This is my show. I do what the hell I want on my show.
All right, John. Let's hear a word from our sponsor.
Yeah, but you're doing this for the people, not your show. It's the people that are. This is for the viewers. We're here to
give back to the people.
I'm giving I'm not here to regurgitate like you said, John. This is what you say all the time when everyone's against you. You're like, well, there's that one guy that's gonna message me 2 days later, and I'm gonna show everyone the screenshot and parade it like I'm like the white knight of the community. I'm being the white knight today, John, and I'm telling you, this is not good enough. This is a bad.
I think Joe's right. I think it's cool to shit on
portrait.
Queen in the 1/6 community because
You're a brown
they
knight.
want to take.
The
They want to.
Oh,
they don't want to shit on Hot
To
Toys.
be fair, I
anymore.
shit on Queen. I shit on Hot Toys.
And also,
equal opportunity shitting.
He's
shitting.
tired that
But I don't-
people shitting on Asmus, so he wants to take a little bit of.
I've shit on
away
Asmus
from
all the time.
Is it
I'm an
shitting
equal
on Queen,
opportunity
though, or is
shitter.
it
Go ahead,
is it
Ben.
shitting on Queen? Is it shitting on Queen or is it shitting on InArt? Because InArt is
that's a good
the
point, too.
side of that company that's trying to come out with the 1/6 line. So I think Queen statues have been amazing, and they've proven that, right? And that's what Eddie's trying to argue here. They have good quality. InArt is the new foot in the game.
Good point.
Right?
Good distinction
And so
there, Ben.
that's why I
think
think
that's
that
a good
makes the
distinction.
difference.
Well said, Ben. And they're just not coming out with their best foot forward as of late. They've had a lot of missteps. That was my point.
No, they haven't.
We've never been
Just 'cause you say that doesn't make it true.
the positivity aspect
What
of the
missteps
hobby.
besides the window?
That's what I'm
John,
saying.
the
If you're gonna
window
say
is the
something
number-
like that, let's see.
So besides the window, let's hear. So product wise, not
Yeah,
release
the
wise,
window,
because I agree with you.
The window.
The misstep where they didn't.
Okay, hold on. I'm
outline
asking Marco
stream,
because
but
hold on. Marco
I'm
made the
answering
statement.
question.
The
Okay, wow.
renders, they said you're going to see more of these Lord
Okay,
of the
but
Rings
renders
figures.
is a statue community thing.
Hold
That's
on,
happened
but,
forever.
okay,
It's
but
just
do you
now
want me,
coming to the
do you want to
1/6.
know what my
That's
take
not a
is, or do you want to
misstep
talk
though.
over
You're
me?
just not used
Just
to
let
it.
him give his missteps.
Okay, so they released the Gandalf and say, okay, they got it blurred out.
They didn't release
it.
it.
was just a
They
picture
showed
of
pictures.
it was a teaser, right? But it was a actual, just a darkened image of the actual
Promotional
actor.
photo.
And then they say, we're going to show you more. They show us more, and it's renders. And then they come out with this that's not even enough to get you
Okay,
hyped.
but you're not used to this.
Not enough to
process.
get you
You're
hyped,
not
but it's
used
enough to
this
get other
process.
people hyped.
Sorry that your standards are so low, John and Eddie. I'm sorry about that, but I will not be
Is this guy serious right
impressed
now?
by this.
Yeah, that's. I
I'm
mean,
a
that's
I'm just saying.
All right, let's
used
change
to
the
it
subject
with them
before.
because that's just how it works.
Here we go.
Yeah.
This is the only comment that matters. Don Mathon says, I'm siding with the one person on the panel that owns every 1/6 scale Gandalf figure released.
That's pretty close to Zach,
Mike
I think.
fucking
right?
drop.
Damn it.
Okay, Eddie, we'll
Let's
stay on the
hear-
top and just zip
Okay,
the
there
lip.
we go. There we go. Let's hear from our sponsor.
Are you sure you want me to read it? My standards are low.
Okay, let's move on. Episode 215, our topic of discussion is the MCU rankings. I had the boys give their rankings from, I believe it's S tier down to, in my case, haven't seen, but I think we had D and E tier in some case. And I'm curious to hear y'all's lists, and I'm also curious to hear the feedback from y'all's lists. For S tier, I have the Avengers Infinity War, Civil War, Endgame, Guardians of the Galaxy, Spider-Man, Homecoming, Iron Man. For A tier, I had the Captain America and the Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, what is this? Far From Home, Black Panther, Iron Man 2, and I guess what is this? No Way Home. It's been a while. B tier, I have Ant-Man, Iron Man 3, which to me was the hardest to put in the B tier. I was really struggling to put in A because, like, I know a lot of people don't like it, but the more I watch it, it's definitely not as good as. It's like one of those movies I think I only want to watch every once in a while because I think it's like a fun little Iron Man movie. It's definitely not the greatest MCU film, but I actually do really enjoy it. So I kind of struggled between A and B for Iron Man 3. Ant-Man 1, the What If series, Avengers 1, and Moon Knight. I'll be honest, I haven't finished Moon Knight yet, but definitely not a bad series from what I've seen thus far. For C tier, I have Avengers Age of Ultron, Captain America the First Avenger, and Loki. For D tier, I have Captain Marvel, and I'll be honest, I'm not a huge Thor fan, so I put all 3 Thor films in the D tier. Hulk, Black Widow, and Doctor Strange. And then I'll be honest, I don't think I've seen the rest of these TV shows or the Eternals or Shang-Chi. So
Avengers and Moon Knight are in the same tier, bro. Your whole list is
particularly I didn't particularly love the Avengers, but other than that, what do you guys see on my list that maybe movies I should consider more or that I have ranked too highly?
I think
watch
you need
Daredevil.
to consider Shang-Chi. I think you need to watch Shang-Chi because
I really want to watch it because Dean said it was amazing.
I wasn't looking forward to it at all. I didn't know anything about the character, and when I watched it, I laughed and I thought it was amazing. I was blown away by how much I liked that movie. So definitely give that one a shot. I think first of your not seen yet a list at least.
Yeah, definitely.
I agree with Eddie on the Daredevil comment. Go ahead, Fern.
I was gonna say you definitely have Winter Soldier way too low. That's an S tier right there.
Wait, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
No, Winter Soldier. Captain America, Winter Soldier.
Oh, you guys know me in Captain America. Not the biggest fan.
Oh yeah, that's true. I forgot.
Not the biggest
And I would
fan.
say if you plan on seeing Multiverse of Madness, definitely watch WandaVision first. It'll have a lot more of a payoff.
I hate that shit.
You could watch. Someone said you could watch the last episode or the last couple episodes of WandaVision, and that's good enough. I would agree. If you don't want to go through the whole thing, the end is better.
But the first few episodes of WandaVision are just so good. But I guess maybe that time.
I agree with that too.
Cuervo says, "How can you make a list without having seen all the films?" That's what I do, baby. I had to do my homework, and I made the list regardless. Dean, I think we have your list up next. Tell us what you got and why.
Yeah, S tier, Infinity War, Endgame, Civil War, Iron Man started it all. I mean, how can you not put that at S tier? And it's just a solid movie to watch. Guardians of the Galaxy 1, bro, they took a bunch of fucking nobodies, threw that movie together, and it fucking slaps, even now. Spider-Man Homecoming, I mean, fucking... Spider-Man's introduction into the MCU, not including Civil War, his first solo outing, amazing film. And the first Avengers team up, bro. I don't like Captain America. I wasn't a huge fan of Thor, so I didn't watch those movies. So I saw the Avengers before I saw those movies. And I was like, damn, this movie goes fucking hard. I need to go back and watch those movies. So I did. And yeah, so S tier, I mean, I think Eddie earlier said he didn't like Homecoming, which is kind of shocking. A tier, you got Ant-Man, Doctor Strange, Shang-Chi, Guardians 2, Ragnarok, No Way Home, Spider-Man 2 and 1, and the Multiverse of Madness. Super good movies. B tier. This is where most of the movies are.
I love
Ant-Man and the
love
Wasp.
Multiverse of Madness too, Dean. That's awesome.
This is a great movie. It's super fun. Yeah. Although Marco, I think you were right about Everything Everywhere All at Once. Way better multiverse movie.
Oh,
but
boy, yeah.
we're sticking to Marvel here. B tier, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Age of Ultron, WandaVision. Pretty much all the TV shows are in the B tier. Like, they're solid, they're good watch, but they're not fucking like winning any awards. Iron Man 2, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Loki, the first Thor, What If, Hawkeye, The Eternals, which I went in with zero expectations because everybody said it sucked. I enjoyed it. I did not feel like I wasted my time. The Amazing Spider-Man 2, Moon Knight, C tier, both Captain Americas, fuck him. Spider-Man Far From Home could have been better. Black Widow, honestly, that probably should have gone on D tier. Amazing Spider-Man, Iron Man 3. Is that 3? I can't. Yeah, that's 3.
Yeah.
Black Panther. I don't hate Black Panther, but like there was so much hype. Like, yo, this movie it's gonna change the fucking world. And I watched it. I was like, yeah, it's good, I guess. Like, I don't know. It's just like way too much.
I feel the same, Dean.
Way
like,
too much hype for that movie. I was like,
you got to decouple how like historic the movie was itself versus the actual product that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like the Batman.
Both Venom movies. I think I was being nice putting them in C tier. D tier, Captain Marvel, Thor 2. Fucking so forgettable. That movie sucks. The Incredible Hulk. That was like the second movie into the MCU, and you could kind of tell they didn't really have their footing. It's because who did it? Paramount? They're the ones that own the Hulk, right?
Sony.
So it wasn't really like an MCU movie. Like Paramount did it, so it definitely feels like it does not fit in the MCU.
Universal.
Oh, Universal. Thank you. Spider-Man 3. That is my least favorite movie of all time. Fuck Spider-Man 3. And then the Daredevil. I tried to get into that show so many times and I couldn't. Fucking terrible.
I hate you.
If Luke Cage was on here, fucking S tier, bro. Luke Cage was such a badass show. Also, The Punisher.
It's getting worse. Stop talking.
What?
Dude.
You didn't like Luke Cage? Well, Luke Cage season 1. Luke Cage season 2 is not as good.
Dean Punisher, so good.
Bro, that show goes hard.
Luke Cage is amazing. What the fuck?
You just said it was getting worse.
You're getting worse. The more you open your mouth.
What do you mean? I just said Luke Cage was good. I said S tier.
Oh, S. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah. No,
I take it back.
I was just saying it because it ended on Daredevil, and I was like, I don't know why Daredevil's here, but not Luke Cage. That belongs in S tier.
I think it's because Daredevil is Disney now. Like it's on Disney Plus. That's why they included it.
Oh,
with
okay.
You.
But the Punisher as well.
Cage.
Bro.
Yeah, but they're renewing Daredevil. They've already announced that they're doing more with Daredevil. The other ones they haven't announced more of, so I think that's why it's here.
Okay. Yeah, I would put the Punisher and Luke Cage on S tier if they were on here because those shows go hard. The Defenders, that's what it was called, right? I didn't hate it. Maybe B, C. But anyway, yeah, that's my list.
Up next, we got Eddie's list.
Oh, you guys. You don't want it.
If you don't want controversy,
should I start at the bottom or the top?
Go off.
I'll start at the top. S tier, the most amazing of the MCU films. Obviously, Infinity War and Endgame are in there. Just insane movies. Every Avengers movie is in S tier for me because they're the best to me. Like having multiple heroes on one screen is fucking amazing, and that's what MCU is known for. So that's every Avengers movie is going to be in here. Civil War falls under that.
Age of Ultron on that though, everyone was hating on it at the time. That's such a banger movie though.
I fucking love Age of Ultron. It's one of my favorites, dude. I love Ultron arguably more than Thanos. So that's just a personal thing though. But Civil War, same thing. It's like an Avengers movie. One of the best. And the better version of Black Panther to me, like I like the suit more in there. I like seeing him for the first time. We saw Spider-Man for the first time in Civil War. That's an amazing movie. I love all of the Captain America movies. I think all of those that's definitely the best trilogy like for a superhero in the MCU, I think. And then Guardians of the Galaxy, amazing movie. Daredevil is an amazing series. I think I love all of, well, I don't love all of them. I didn't like Jessica Jones, didn't even watch it, but all the Netflix stuff I love, but Daredevil is my favorite out of all of those. And then Iron Man, like Dean said, like that's what started it all. It's the best, arguably, of everything. So That's up there. And then all 3 of the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies for me are going to be up there because that's my childhood. Like, I love 3. I haven't watched it in a long time, but still going to be S tier for me. So yeah, S tier. A tier is like still really good, just not like the best. You got Doctor Strange. Is that the first one? Yeah, Doctor Strange, and then we have Iron Man 2. I really love Iron Man 2. Incredible Hulk, I love.
Bro, that's such a
like,
good movie. Underrated.
Yeah, I think it was great. I liked Edward Norton as Banner. I liked the new guy too. I forget his name, but
Ruffalo.
He's cool too. Yeah, Ruffalo, Mark Ruffalo. Thor. I'm not gonna say that it deserves to be an A tier. I just love the character so much. That's a hard one for me to not put an A tier. Same thing with Dark World. You guys are not gonna agree with this. Dark World is my favorite of the 3 Thor movies. So, yeah, Ragnarok sucks. Then the Amazing Spider-Man movies, I don't love as much as Tobey, but they're still my second favorite next to Tobey, so they're an A tier. No Way Home is only in here because of Tobey and Andrew and the villains. If it was just another shit show like Far From Home and Homecoming, that shit would be in D. Falcon and Winter Soldier, the best Disney Plus show to me. I think I had both of Iron Man 1 and Iron Man 2, or Iron Man 2 and Iron Man 3 in A tier because I love those two. Captain Marvel, I really loved. I'm not going to argue with anybody saying that it was good or anything. I just like something personal about the character that I loved. Like, I didn't mind the fact that it was a badass female, and then the No Doubt scene where she's fighting, amazing because I love No Doubt. And then Multiverse of Madness is a friggin' amazing. It's the best thing we've seen from Marvel since Phase 1 or whatever phase had all that banger shit in it. So check that out. B tier, they're good. They're okay, I guess. Or we'll say good because C and D, but Ant-Man 1, it's good. Not anything crazy. WandaVision, I like it a lot. It's not anything crazy. Black Panther, same thing. Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Ragnarok, again, he's only in B because I love Thor so much. Otherwise, that would be a D film. Hawkeye was my second favorite Disney Plus show. And then C tier is like, they were okay or not even good. They're just okay. Ant-Man 2, the Spider-Man movies, and then Shang-Chi and Eternals. I didn't hate Eternals, but I don't love them. Same with Shang-Chi. And then D, Loki, Black Widow, What If, both Venoms, and Moon Knight could have gone without all of them. So probably will never watch them again.
Danny says, surprised Eddie didn't sneak Batman Forever in S tier.
Damn.
Love to see it. Great list. Marco, I think this is your list.
Yeah, so I guess I won't go through every movie, but I'll just say everything that's in the S tier, like I had either a really strong emotional connection to, like Guardians 2, for whatever reason, that really resonated with me a lot more than the first one. Just like there's just way more emotional beats, and like I love the characters more. Civil War, Homecoming, the scene where he's in the car with the Vulture with Michael Keaton, like probably my favorite MCU scene. And then Loki was my favorite of all the Marvel MCU TV shows so far. In the A, I would just say like Multiverse of Madness, just like Dean and Eddie. Really, really enjoyed it. I know it's been really divisive so far. I know Fern's going to shit all over it, but I just really loved it. Like it was a really great time. And I will say like Age of Ultron is another one that was divisive for its time, but like I had a great time in the theaters watching it. Other ones to note, like Black Panther, I would say, again, I wanted to like it way more than I actually did because I loved Chadwick's portrayal in Civil War. Like I thought that version of Black Panther was just pissed off, kind of cutting through the entire movie, and they made him a bit more goofy in this one and just didn't like it as much. And then the Hulk might be higher actually on any given day because just really enjoyed that experience in the theater. And then I'll just say, like Falcon and Winter Soldier, a lot of the Marvel TV shows are just pretty uneven to me. Like they'll have really great episodes. Like that had an amazing first episode, and then the rest was just kind of like hit and miss. I think episode 4 was also awesome. And let's see. And then I just created a meh category because like Moon Knight just, first episode, amazing. The middle section's really, really good as well. But overall, as a cohesive package, it just didn't hit for me. And the same with What If. Like, I just didn't like What If at all. I think there's like one episode that I really enjoyed. So yeah, so overall, these like on a good day really fluctuate amongst the middle tiers. Minus S tier is kind of, I would say, normally locked in. Multiverse of Madness, I need to see it again, but I think it has potential to jump into that S tier just because there's just so much cool stuff in there. So yeah, that's my list.
I think this is your list, Ben.
Yeah, so I found this actually an incredibly hard thing to do, trying to categorize where I thought each movie should go, because I have seen all of them over the years, and I've liked them all for different reasons. And I think because it's been such a generation of movies, like it's been such a big age gap in my life. Like when I started watching these, 12 years ago, I was a much younger man. So what I liked about movies then isn't necessarily what I like about movies and TV shows now. So again, had a hard time categorizing them, but I do think for my S tier, I kept it actually pretty short. Infinity War, seeing the bad guy win was crazy. I mean, I remember seeing that in theaters and I was blown away when the snap happened and then the movie was over. And it was like, I immediately needed to know what else there would be. And I mean, we got that with Endgame. Captain America, The Winter Soldier was also one of my favorite movies of all time. I agree with Eddie. When I first saw the first Captain America, I didn't love it that much. But when I see all three of those first movies, in combination, I think that arc for that character was amazing, and seeing this film with Bucky and everything I thought was phenomenal. Civil War was also really cool because for me that was a pull right from comics, right? I mean, seeing heroes go at it with each other as opposed to just going at it after villains, I thought that was a really unique twist, and it was hard to know who to root for because again you kind of see it from both sides, which is cool. And then Iron Man being in the S tier, not because it's the best movie on this list, but because it really got me into my excitement for Marvel. I never read any Iron Man comics as a kid, and I didn't know much about the character. And the first time you see the Mark III suit land in the desert and he walks up slowly badass to, I think it's Led Zeppelin, like, that's a badass scene. And like that for me has always stuck with me when I look at that character. And so my A tier, again, kept the list relatively short, but the Avengers, just because the first time we got to see everybody assemble, I really did like Far From Home because of all of the different tie-ins and, having the crowd cheer when they saw Tobey Maguire step out of the portal and Andrew Garfield step out of the portal. Like, all of that was just, it's the moments, I think, that really capture it for me. And I think it was Dean that said it best when it came to Guardians of the Galaxy. I remember going into that movie being like, I don't know who these guys are, but I'm going to see it because it's a Marvel movie. And when I left, I was blown away. So again, I kept that in my A tier, but that's almost an S tier movie. I just saw Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, and so it's super fresh in my mind. But I loved that film. It was the first time, and without spoilers, that I felt like there's any level of horror in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I thought that was really cool. I thought it just added a different spice level than we've seen before, and it made me have a huge appreciation for Wanda Maximoff or the Scarlet Witch.
I had to double check if it was rated R. When I was watching, I was like, wait a minute.
Dude,
what the?
There are some parts in that movie that are fucking, like, intense.
Bro, it's like season 3 of The Boys, bro.
Yeah. 100%. I really liked Loki as well, and I thought there was a lot of really good parts to Loki, and I liked what Loki did for the future of Marvel, so that's why I kept it a little higher. The show could have had some tweaks, I think, that would have made it better, but I do like what they've done with opening up for, Kang the Conqueror and the multiverse and what's coming.
Zach, you go back.
You guys might have changed my mind. You guys might have changed my mind a little bit on Black Panther. It might be more of a B tier movie because I agree that objectively it's not the greatest movie on the list, But when I saw it, it did resonate with me really well. And I remember seeing it a couple times in theaters with friends. And every time I go and have an experience with other family or friends, and we have a great time, and it's a great film, it always amps up my excitement for that product. But again, I think maybe objectively, I would have probably maybe slid that one down to B. I did like Spider-Man: Homecoming. I'm surprised Eddie doesn't like it. Eddie, I think that said it right. I was surprised you didn't like it.
He just doesn't like Tom Holland, right? That's the.
I don't mind.
Yeah,
it's okay.
I think I liked it mostly just because it was another fresh take at Spider-Man. And when I look back now at the Tom Holland series of movies, it's a big origin story, which now as kind of a whole I appreciate more, because now we're going to get to see Spider-Man become the Spider-Man I think that we all know from the comics or love from the comics. My B tier and C tier, this is where a lot of my selection ended up being, and the reason I put these guys in the B and C is because these are the movies that I'll either have on in the background, or I've watched a bunch of times. The B tier being the the one with Mysterio, I think. What's that? Far From Home. I really like that film because I really like Mysterio, and as a character, I've always liked Mysterio, so like that just resonated well with me. I thought Thor Ragnarok was a great film because it was hilarious, and I liked that they pulled a different side out of Thor than what we'd seen from the first two films. They really tried to keep it on the dark side with the second one, and it just didn't stick the landing. I think Chris Hemsworth as a more comedic character works better for him as an actor. Like I said earlier, Shang-Chi, I was blown away by how good that film was. And Daredevil, if anybody hasn't seen Daredevil, at least watch the first two episodes to see if it hooks you. There is a scene in a hallway, a fight scene in a hallway in the end of episode 2 that is awesome. So awesome. So watch it if you get a chance, if you haven't seen it already. And I did like Moon Knight a lot. I'm I know that's a controversial topic right now. For me, it stuck really well. I'd never heard of the character, so I really, really liked it. And WandaVision, I think, was the best Disney series television so far. That or Captain America and the Winter Soldier. The Winter Soldier and Captain
first,
America.
Then WandaVision.
Yes, sorry, Loki and then WandaVision. I would say the only reason I put Loki first is because I like more of what it's going to do for the multiverse, whereas I think WandaVision plays a little bit more into Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, which is, again, why I appreciate that one so much. Thanks for that, Marco. My C tier, again, is just the films that I have always watched on repeat, but don't necessarily recommend to people if they're just starting to get into the multiverse or the Marvel movies. And for me, I actually did used to love The Hulk. It was one of my favorite films for the first original kind of 3 or 4 movies that came out. And as the series have gone on, obviously, that's diminished a little bit. Hawkeye, I think I put that too high of a class as well. I liked Hawkeye, but I think I probably would have kept it in D. And my D category is the category I look at these films and shows as I've watched it, I liked it for what it was, but I probably won't watch it again. And that is Hawkeye for me, Black Widow, What If series, The Eternals, Iron Man 3, Thor Dark World, and Captain Marvel there. And Ant-Man and the Wasp. I thought that was a garbage movie. I really didn't like that movie at all. So that's the way she goes. So, hot takes though.
Facebook user says Shang-Chi above Winter Soldier. Ben is a madman. I love that no matter what our order is, there's like someone in the chat's like, dude, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
And then I think last but certainly not least, we have Fern. Big old Fern. Tell us what you got.
Yeah, S tier, I have all the Captain Americas. I think he's my favorite MCU character. So I have all of them, especially Winter Soldier. That's definitely my favorite movie out of all of them. And then Infinity War, I think it's better than Endgame, to be honest. And then Guardians of the Galaxy, like everybody said, I went into the theater, thinking like, who the fuck are these guys? And I mean, it was an amazing movie. And then the Daredevil shows, one of my favorite shows. Daredevil was my favorite Marvel character in general. And then Iron Man, like everybody said, it started the whole MCU. And then Guardians of the Galaxy 2 was a good movie. Black Panther was alright. Homecoming, I really like Tom Holland. I like him better than Andrew Garfield, to be honest. And then, despite what Eddie says, I really like Thor Ragnarok. I like more of the whole comedy thing.
They
I
did
know that's
something
why.
different there, right?
Yeah, I know. I know that's why Eddie doesn't like it.
It
But
ruined it going forward though, because now all it is fucking comedy for everything. So
yeah,
you guys may love it, but it changed the whole fucking thing. So
You're right.
What do you mean,
right.
like the entire MCU? You're saying,
yeah, now everything's a fucking joke.
bro? Multiverse of Madness was as dark as it gets.
You're right.
And then Avengers. I mean, the first Avengers.
Bro, the moment of silence of Eddie, like, fuck.
That's an
never seen Eddie
exception.
not put up a
I will
fight.
allow
That was
him to
good.
have that argument.
You're right.
And
That was amazing. Clips out.
No Way Home was, well, I mean, it was great. Hawkeye, I really liked it. Hawkeye, I really liked the Hawkeye character, despite what people say about that character. And then Moon Knight, I really love that character. And then B, Paul Rudd is one of my favorite actors, to be honest. So and Ant-Man, I think he did a good job with that role. And then moving on to, what is that? Far From Home? Kind
Yeah.
of blurry.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that movie was good, but I mean, I like No Way Home better. I think it's probably the worst one out of the three, to be honest. And then Endgame, I think Endgame was like probably the best movie experience I've ever had. Like, it was amazing, but after watching it like at home later on, it's not as good as Infinity War, but still pretty good. And then I like the Winter Soldier and the Falcon show. I like the story about it. And then Loki, the whole multiverse thing, it was good. And then Ant-Man and the Wasp was all right. Age of Ultron was all right. Doctor Strange. I mean, all the ones in the C tier they were all right. And then D tier, I mean, they're kind of not that good, to be honest, including Doctor Strange. But I won't get into that right now. But
non spoilers though on Doctor Strange, like what did you just not like the direction or like
nah,
overall what?
I didn't like it. I just thought
He's been adamant. He hates it.
I just thought it was dumb as hell. Like
Dumb. Okay.
Yeah.
Very spirited list, gentlemen. I think John said he wasn't able to, or I guess you haven't seen enough of them to really make a list.
Yeah.
So we appreciate all that. And Usby was supposed to be here. This was his list. I won't really go over it, but hope you feel better, bud. I think he was down with some sort of a mystery illness. Our movie of the
Down
week
with the
was-
sickness. I'm sorry.
Jesus.
I apologize. I hope you feel better.
He's in bed, dude. I will say this though, he tried to rally like Bane. He was like, "Dude, I'm gonna take all kinds of medicine and."
Can I just say that I'm so glad that's a fucking thing we say now.
Oh, he rallied like Bane?
Everybody said I was wrong, but jokes on you.
I mean, you were wrong.
I'm
It's
not,
just
though.
funny to say. Okay, so real quick, Manny the Man Gonzalez, sweetest of the angels, sent me this. This is the Toys Era Sky Scavenger. First off, I love when there's a third-party figure, they all rush to like think of the worst name possible. The Sky Scavenger. I mean, I'm not going to really go super in-depth with all the photos, but some LED lights. You got a 360-degree rotate of turbine engine, light-up mask, movable toes, light-up gun.
I'm not hating that sculpt. It's way better than the other one.
Oh, the other one was fierce.
The other one's better.
I definitely see Keaton here. The other one was fucking Werner Herzog, bro. I don't hate it.
Anyway, so I just wanted to bring that up quickly. We'll talk about it more in depth next Tuesday. Our movie of the week was The Departed. The film takes place in Boston. The Irish mob boss Frank Costello plants Colin Sullivan as a spy within the Massachusetts State Police. Simultaneously, the police assign undercover state trooper Billy Costigan to infiltrate Costello's crew. When both sides realize the situation, Sullivan and Costigan each attempt to discover the other's identity before they are found out. I really tried to like this movie. And I was shocked afterwards, because usually I'll watch a movie for Movie of the Week, and then I'll read the wiki to make sure I really got it all. Especially a movie like this, kind of a complicated film. And I was shocked to see that it won an Academy Award for Best Film Editing. The editing was so jarring. The transitions, like one scene would end and the audio would continue and switch
I
over.
thought my stream was lagging. I was like,
dude, Dean,
the fuck was that?
I was watching this on my TV and I turned it off to watch on my computer because, like, dude, my TV's fucking up. And I was like, nope, it's just the movie. During the shootout in, I don't know where the fuck they were, some building, like the freeze frame. This film editing was terrible. The score, I honestly don't even know if there was music in this film. Like, that's how boring it was. Vera Farmiga, criminally underused in this film. Like, you have one of the best actresses of all time and relegate her to, like, the most pointless plot point, I think, in the whole movie. Honestly, maybe I missed this, but I don't think she ever confessed sleeping with Leonardo DiCaprio's character. Maybe I'm wrong, and I don't even know if that's
no.
Matt
She just
Damon's
like alludes
kid.
to it. She's like, I thought I was the liar.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought.
And then like nothing. He doesn't look. He's like, he doesn't ask like, what do you mean by that? He just like lets her.
There's
leave.
so much pointless shit in this movie. This movie could have been an hour and 45 minutes. It's like the movie goes nowhere for 2 hours and 15 minutes, and the last 2 minutes is like 74 plot twists and like reversals and reveals, and honestly just completely unsatisfying ending. In the wiki it says that Mark Wahlberg's character does what he does in the last scene because he has all this information. Maybe I missed it because I think I just shut it off as soon as that happened, but I don't remember them ever saying that's why he did that. I did not like this movie, and like the first 10 minutes I was like, damn, this is fucking awesome, and it just went down from there. Like, they're trying to find this rat, and, like, no one's pulling phone records. Like, oh, we're about to start this raid that no one knows about. Oh, hey, Dad, I'm not going to be there for dinner. All my friends are coming. Like, no one is a little suspicious that this man walks 2 feet away and takes a phone call anytime some big shit's happening. It's so stupid, and honestly, I don't think I could say enough bad things about this movie. And I'm sorry, Marco. I know that you like this movie. You're a friend of mine.
No, fair enough. I think all your points are valid too. To be honest.
Yeah, it's like
this
what
movie
a long,
was fucking
what a
mid,
long,
bro.
What a long fucking con to like have this kid become a cop and expect his career to just flourish, completely unexplained. And in the middle of it, he's like, maybe I should be a lawyer. Like, that came out of nowhere. It's just so many fucking things. I don't know, man.
You know, I've got to say really quick though, because it's not me defending the movie because I haven't seen the other version, but this is an adaptation, right, of another like of a foreign film. So it's a Scorsese's take on another story. So maybe that's, you know, playing into some of those feelings. But anyways, go ahead, Dean.
Yeah, Zach hit the nail on the head with the 2 hours of nothing, and then the last 10 minutes is like, wait, what the fuck? Like, shocking. I can't say I didn't enjoy that last 10 minutes because I was like, oh shit, oh, but dear God, getting there was not worth it, bro. Maybe because this movie had so much hype. I mean, everybody's always like, oh my God, The Departed.
I've literally never heard about this movie.
I will say, what a fucking cast, bro. In the first like 15 minutes, I was like, fuck, he's in this movie? Holy shit. Mark Wahlberg's in this movie? Fucking Matt Damon, you know, obviously Leo DiCaprio. Was this Jack Nicholson's last movie? I haven't seen him in anything since.
No, he did no, he's an old man. He plays a playboy. I forget the name of it.
Oh.
But Keanu
It
Reeves
made me
is in it.
uncomfortable seeing Alec Baldwin with a gun in this movie.
Dude,
to be honest.
Alec Baldwin is in this movie?
Bro,
fucking,
and the bucket
It took me a
list, bro.
second,
Martin,
Zach, but too soon,
Martin,
Scorsese.
what's his name? No, Martin
Freeman.
Sheen, right?
Martin Sheen. Yeah, not Martin Freeman. That's what I was going to say. Martin Sheen is in this movie. Dude, banger cast. Zach's 100% right. The Vera woman, I don't remember her character's name.
Love of my life.
Criminally underused. She was arguably the most interesting character in this fucking movie. I really liked Leo. But, dear God. I was really confused about Mark Wahlberg at the end, so thank you, Zach, for saying that, because I was like, wait, was he bad? Was he
I
not?
thought I don't know.
didn't get
Like
it.
when it happened, I thought it was because he was disgruntled for being like, you know, the whole like, hey, you investigated the police chief, and it led to him, you know, basically dying. And I had to read the wiki to like understand what I was supposed to understand. I don't know. I don't like it.
It was fucking confusing as shit. And then also like, is it Leo's kid? Is it Matt Damon's kid? It doesn't say. He gives her this envelope that doesn't go literally anywhere. I thought maybe she was gonna like at the end of the movie turn it in, like he thought he fucking got away with it, and then
so
at the funeral I thought they were gonna arrest
but
him.
it leads to interpretation, right?
Okay, that's
so
fair.
it's implied from the wiki that she gave it to
Wahlberg.
Thank you, Wahlberg's character, and that's why he did that.
Yeah.
Which I guess makes sense, but fuck, I mean, show don't tell, my guy.
Yeah, it was. I didn't completely hate it, but dear God, I think Donnie, what was it? Johnny Draco. I think that was a better movie.
Donnie Brasco.
Brasco, thank you.
Yes,
I thought that was
to be honest, much better film.
Yeah.
So,
and it's weird. Sorry, John, just for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
It's weird because we watched basically like two very similar films.
Yeah.
If we had watched them like 3 months apart, you know, I wouldn't be comparing it. But the whole like I never felt the genuine tension of Donnie Brasco when they're like, take your fucking shoes off, and he's like, nah, fuck that. Because in this movie, they beat the shit out of him and look for a wire, and literally the next scene, he's wearing a big fucking stethoscope on his chest.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm not wearing this. It's like,
sorry, John.
No.
Yeah, go on, John.
What Zach and Dean said, I'm the complete opposite on this one. I know we usually don't disagree, but the complete opposite. It was my first. I've watched bits and pieces throughout the years, but this was my first time actually sitting it down, earphones in, watching it on TV, and just taking it in. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the movie a lot. 8.5 out of 10 on IMDb, 90% on Rotten Tomatoes, 93% like this film. October 6, 2006. So maybe the editing process for that time, I don't know. I didn't notice anything about editing. I appreciated the writing. I appreciated what they left for interpretation. At the end, he turns around to her. How about the kid? Which makes it seem like it's not his kid. You know what I mean? I appreciate the art that went into that. When he opens the elevator and DiCaprio gets shot right there, you're not expecting that shit. I'll tell you that. I thought it was overall. Or when the detective falls from the roof, I was just like, what the? But I really liked it. I like Jack Nicholson. The Irish kind of accent needed maybe a little tweaking, but damn, I've never seen a mafia movie talk more about rats than this one. Holy mac. I like that scene when he's in the restaurant where he was drying the rats and they're trying to find it. Regardless, I enjoyed this film. What else was there? I know there was another part that... Oh yeah, the Donnie... What's his face? Wahlberg. I think he was in on it.
I think so too,
When
honestly.
they said, "Oh, he's you think you're the only paid cop," or you know what I mean, you're the only cop in on this. The way he had everything was covered, gloves, and the way he had his shoes covered and the whole outfit just makes
that
it
shit
seem
made
like
me laugh so much. It totally.
I felt the same thing, John. I thought he was in on that.
And then the rat on the balcony after it was looking at the same building that he kept looking at. And the way Nicholson approached the kid, which later, I forgot their names in the movie, the kid that later became the cop that working for Nicholson, the way he approached him and said, hey, if you ever need work, and then they were talking about the church and stuff like that and how he kind of converted him. I don't know. For a mafia movie, an Irish mafia movie, I definitely appreciate it.
Just a small throwback to Club, that Wolverine comic he throws in the bag.
Oh, that's right.
Nice
Thanks
touch.
for mentioning
Yeah.
that. Thank you. I noticed that right away. Yeah, that was cool.
So this is probably like my fourth time seeing this movie. It's definitely not one of my favorite Scorsese movies, but I appreciate like all the, stylistic choices, the cast as was mentioned. I think like Leo and Jack kind of carry this movie for me. And Jack's like villain, right, as a mob boss is just such a terrible dude. Like just no redeeming qualities. He has some human moments where he's talking to, some various characters, but like in the beginning where he's talking to the girl, like, you get your period yet? And like really weird stuff. He goes and talks to the priest about some really off-putting stuff, right? Like he plays by his own rules. He's running this town. And I would just say, I get everything Zach and Dean you were saying about, this. It didn't come together for you, and I think like the pacing is very slow, and it kind of reminds me of Casino in a way. Like the first time I ever saw Casino, I don't know your thoughts on that, but I wasn't a huge fan. Like I just thought like this is a lot of like nothing. But I think you come to appreciate like how all the pieces are building up. And I would say the end, which is obviously what sticks with you the most, is my least favorite part of the movie. I think that part was rushed, but obviously, again, he's adapting it from a different screenplay. So overall, this is still a movie that I really, really enjoy. And yeah, just based on the performances alone and just having another, modern Scorsese movie is just kind of a cool novelty.
Eddie.
Oh, I didn't watch it.
Oh, just kidding. Yeah. Fern, did you watch the movie of the week this week?
To be honest, I didn't watch
get
it.
Okay, you know what? You're never coming back, Fern. Ben.
Yes, so I'm with John. I'm actually surprised Zach and Dean didn't like this movie as much as they did. This is probably, I think, my third time watching this, and I've actually liked it more and more the more times I've seen it. The first time I remember feeling a little confused. I'm happy that I gave it a second chance and have actually rewatched it, because I did pull more away from the film on the second and third viewing. I really like Jack Nicholson's character in this movie. The guy is just so intense to watch. And I really liked kind of the degradation of Leonardo DiCaprio's character over the course of the movie. You really see him struggling, and you really see, kind of that sensitive side when he's with the woman or with the doctor or the psychologist. I can't remember what her name is, but you get to see that he has still kind of that sensitive side of what he was when he was, trying to become that up and coming police officer before he joined this craziness. So I thought that was cool. I feel like the hard part about this movie for me is that it is, it's called The Departed, but the whole movie is kind of a gut punch. Like everybody that you feel invested in is either a rat or they die. And then you almost think Matt Damon's character is going to win at the end, which is kind of like, wow, like there's no way they're going to let this guy like get away with this shit, right? Like he actually pulled it off, and then he gets the bullet in the head from Mark Wahlberg. So I was actually happy about that aspect of it, but again, it's definitely a gut punch type of movie. I think Mark Wahlberg is one of the funniest parts of the film. Some of his one-liners that he throws out there, dude, had me laughing in bed last night.
He reminds me of Eddie in that movie. He's just
so
such a fucking
funny.
instigator.
What the?
So funny. But I thought it was a great film, and you know what? I think Zach and Dean, I know it is a really long haul movie. I'd give it a year or two and then watch it again. See if you feel any different. If you don't, then all good. But I would definitely at least give it a shot to be a rewatchable film at some point. The only thing I do think is sometimes directors like Martin Scorsese, they get a lot of hype because he has had a lot of really great movies and films over his course of his career. And it makes me wonder if there's a lot of bandwagon fans of this film, or if everybody who truly loves it has actually really sat down and watched it. Because there are a lot of parts, like the editing and stuff, that aren't as well put together, in my opinion, as some of his other films. So, but otherwise, I'm happy you picked it, dude. As I said, I wouldn't have gone back to this one necessarily again, and I was happy to watch it. So
yeah, this was a solid pick.
Bro, next person that picks a 2.5-hour movie is going to review these hands for movie of the week.
Brent,
Ben, it's your pick for movie of the week. What do we got?
I had a hard time
and
picking.
before you say it, this is your first movie of the week, so
I know.
Don't fuck it up, all right?
No pressure. I had a list of 15. I was even willing to put it out to the group, but I was told no, that I actually had to pick.
It's your first one. It's important.
It is. I have not seen the film Edge of Tomorrow with Tom Cruise.
Oh yes.
Fuck
Good choice, bro.
yes.
Ben.
Bro.
Banger, bro.
Emily Blunt
Banger.
is so fine in that movie, bro.
Fucking
Bro, you ain't wrong.
yes. Can we review it now? Holy shit.
I haven't seen it. What is it about?
Edge of Tomorrow, bro.
Don't even spoil
yeah,
it. It's better if you go in
It's
fresh.
better
Okay.
if you go in cold. When I saw the movie, I went in cold. I was singing with a friend, and holy Jesus, that film blew my fucking mind.
It's on
Nice.
Netflix. 2014 came out.
I've wanted to see it, and I've never had a chance to actually sit down and watch it.
What a
Bro.
banger pick.
A couple years ago,
I know where you're going with this.
Zach and I
digital
were,
code?
yeah, Zach and I were really into digital movies. I mean, we still buy them.
I got
Yeah,
like
yeah.
300.
And I was like, bro, I really want this movie and I can't fucking find it anywhere. And Zach is like, I got you. Literally, like a couple hours later, he sends me the code for it. I was like, bro, you're a fucking angel, bro. So
It
I
was
gave
in
him
the
a
early
peeky touch.
CW days.
Yeah.
Yeah, I treasure
I think we
peeky
were still in
touch.
the kitchen, bro.
Hell yeah, bro. Dean, we have some sweet, sweet angels that keep the network
Yes.
going.
The three pillars, as John says. Quick shout out to Sean Fear, Ian Seaby, Renee Mendez, Eric Mariscal, Quinn Aguirre, Lemur Hernandez, King Louis, Mark Pearson, Paul Schreiber, James Colley, Equan, Chris Valencerina, Ben Thomas, Chris Letty, David Jones, Sam Gist, Daminator, Joao Bretta, Sweet Sweet Danny Lee, Deanie Martin, Stephen Crett, Big Ol' Fern, King Zach, Caesar Mariquin, Mark Phillips, Lisa Martin Bomonsky, Rick DeGregorio, The Everyday Collector, Ricardo Valdez, Jose CZ, Erwin Azucena, The Illustrious Rainer, Alad Morgan, Tukathri, Wah, Derek B., Carlos Saavedra, Matt Clevenger, Seth Tucker, CC3PO, Scott Smith, Dalmaton, Bola Boyd, Jimmy James, Stephen Percha, Sean Usby, Scott Bradley, Big Peps, Stephen Maria Stanley, Eddie Manzanares, Louis Bennett, Chip Perrin, Jimmy Hernandez, Gigi the Judgmental, and Brenton Palmer. What a bunch of angels.
Thank you all for your support. If you want to join us on Patreon, you get these benefits for May. We have the Bricks and Brews holographic sticker and the CW Pogs. Everyone will get either a common or a chase. And, I think the chase is about 1/4 of the total number of Pogs we'll be sending out, so a little bit rare there. We also have the full Pog set that we'll be sending as well to the top tier people. Patreon starts at $5 a month for the Sweet Angel tier, moving up to $15 for the Certified Crispy, which gives you the certificate and figure fix assistance, or $25 for the deluxe Pog set on your first pledge, and doubles all the stickers that we send. Appreciate you guys' support. Also, our channel members, we got Mojo Z78, OG Fan, Absolute Irwin, Beme, which, by the way, shout out to Beme. He's been putting in work the last few years on the new Avatar film, and I know he was very proud to debut the trailer yesterday. Now, I think he was real excited to show his family, so big shout out to him. Test Chess 1, Mark Pearson, DK Avenger 702, Ben Thomas, OMFG Rick, Justin Harass, S Beam, Paul Schreiber, Andres IB, Andrew Gibo, Daminator, CC3PO, Sam Gist, Lemur Hernandez, Thomas Clark, and Carlito. If you want to join our membership, you can do so starting at 99 cents. You get loyalty badges and custom emojis. If you're a Patreon, or if you're not a Patreon, it's $2.99. You get the same benefits, and the badges change every few months as you kind of level up in the system. We have our network here. We have CW Live, OFAC, Small Talk, which will be live this Thursday. After Dark, which we'll have a special After Dark tomorrow I'll talk about in a second. Bricks and Brews, The Ringcast, Collecting Weekly Live Unboxing, Collectors Club, Pose Wars, and Live and Let Dice. Pose Wars got pushed back to June. We had some scheduling conflicts this month, so June will begin the play-in and the playoffs, and Live and Let Dice is live this Saturday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Tomorrow is the Ladies' Night on After Dark. We have CC3PO, my wife Victoria, and her friend Emery, Natalie, there you go, Golden Ass Gwen, and Daddy Chill, aka Stephanie, joining Ladies' Night. And it should be fun. Go for about an hour tomorrow, and hopefully it'll be something we'll do every now and again, just depending how this one goes. If you're watching tonight and you're going to be watching tomorrow, please, for the love of God, be on your best behavior in the comments, because we don't want to scare the ladies off, and you guys are always great, so I don't think it'll be a problem. We also have TeePublic. If you guys want to support us there, you can do so at the link in the comments. We have all kinds of t-shirts from the different logos of the network, different memes like the Gooch Grease 100% natural ointment and more. And they go on sale pretty regularly, so honestly I'd wait for a sale.
The
Definitely
In-N-Outs
not buy
one
them.
is vintage now. So.
Yeah, it's a vintage. I think I probably should take that one off at some point. But yeah, that's a
order it while you can. It's limited.
Yeah, there you go. It's going out of stock soon. And John, can we read the socials, please?
Yes, sir. We got on Facebook. We got Collecting Weekly. We also have Collecting Weekly Auxiliary, the place you want to be. On Instagram at Collecting Weekly as well, and then you have at Collecting Weekly _ clips for all the funny moments and bloopers on the shows, and then at the _ everyday _ collector. Guys, give these pages a follow.
Mario's saying only an hour for the ladies. Some of them are in different time zones, so we got to work on their schedules also, and they're not regular streamers, so they want to dip the toe, as it were. Shout outs time. We got some streamers here on the panel, some sweet angels. Tell me what you guys want to shout out, what you guys got going on your channels, etc.
I guess I'll just jump in here. 16fix. If you're not following us yet, please go check us out. 1/6fix. We've got an episode of the She Said No podcast upcoming once Gigi's done with her finals, and we're going to talk about Disneyland, and I'll have a collection outlook video upcoming for Multiverse of Madness, since there's some potential bangers from that series.
I wanted to shout out one of our Patreons, Luis Rodriguez Santos. He has been sending me tons of cool Star Trek stuff, different chats, things to watch, stuff like that. So thank you, dude.
It's
Keep
Star
it coming.
Trek. Can it really be cool, though?
It is cool. Watch yourself. It is really cool. So thanks for doing that, and keep it coming. If any other Patreons like talking Star Trek, I'm always down, as well as everything else, of course. And then if you do have a chance, check out the Ben Thomas Show. I am at 97 subscribers. I'm 3 away from the 100 goal, so I'm so close. But if you get a chance, check it out. I think I've got about 23 or 24 videos on there now to kind of sort through on your time off. So take a look.
Real quick, I just wanted to shout out Ben, in addition to what you said, but you put up another Toy Story, Toys R Us, sorry, shopping trip, and it amazes me. I mean, I guess it's Toys R Us, so it makes sense, but in America for Black Series, they got like Target, Walmart, and Walgreens, and I want to fucking, it's just terrible. So looking at your walkthroughs, and it's like the shelves are like full of Black Series, like relatively like hard to find ones here in the States. It makes me real jealous. I miss Toys R Us.
I've got
so go check those out if you want to get nostalgic with Toys R Us. Go check out those videos.
I've got one more video I'm going to post probably tomorrow of another local toy shop as well. Really cool owner, support local for sure, and his selection is insane, even in comparison to Toys R Us. So definitely worth checking out when I get that posted.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I want to shout out everyone who tuned in the chat. Without you guys, we'd be nothing over here. So appreciate the support, and Patreons as well.
Shout out Corey G. Huerta, my best friend. He's in the chat. And also shout out Big Pips. I
miss Big Pips.
He messaged me. He said, "I miss you guys. I'm hoping to be back soon." And honestly, I can't wait because he's hilarious.
Peps, I think my message may have gotten lost. I don't know.
I'm buying a figure.
I asked him to message me earlier. What the fuck?
I'm buying a figure from him on Friday, so I want to meet him.
Cancel the order.
Cancel the order until you're on the streams again.
Pay $10. Yes, you tell him I said so.
100%.
Eddie, do you want to plug your channel?
Sure. Made Media on YouTube, MADE Media. We mostly statue talk there. We have an unboxing coming up soon, either on Sunday or you hate to see it, John, Monday. Whatever day Payne is available, but it'll probably be earlier than yours, so it is what it is. But he's got a couple statues coming in, and we're gonna unbox one of them. So if you guys want to check that out, that would be awesome. Subscribe if you want. If you don't, it is what it is. But yeah, check it out.
Give Eddie some support, guys. Go ahead.
Glowing. It reminds me of Parks and Rec with Ron Swanson. He's like, hire us or don't.
Yeah.
We don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, I care. I appreciate it all. I just,
I wanted to give a shout out to Victoria's Mother's Day on Sunday. We had a very hectic Sunday, and I didn't want to spoil the story for After Dark tomorrow, so she'll give you guys an update on our life tomorrow. And it was Gigi's birthday yesterday, so happy belated. I told you in Messenger, but happy belated birthday, Gigi, and good luck on your finals. You're gonna rock them. Get a 100, or I don't know,
You
A+,
got this.
whatever they do in school these days.
C's get degrees, baby.
There we go. Shout out to Fern too. He was off all week, and the first thing he told me when he found he was off, he's like, "Bro, I'm gonna come on all the shows." So thanks.
I know you hate to see it the week I'm off Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and you guys are doing a ladies night.
Well, you could. How about this, Fern? How about this? We're gonna play. I think Danny said it. Dean, I don't know if you'd be down, but after Ladies Night After Dark, maybe we'll play some SWAT, and Fern can hop in Discord and fuck around with us. I think
I'm down.
Fern, is that a black casting couch in the back, or what is that?
That's my bed.
Damn.
So yes.
So exactly.
Anyways, shout out to everyone watching.
I keep
We
on
love to
tucking.
see it, and we will be back for another exciting episode of Collecting Weekly next week.
Bye.